Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Power Network. I'm Amy. Good morning. Today, we're talking about the internet reacts to hidden true crime. From Annie Elise to Megan Connor and even Kresha from Difficult Research. Creators across YouTube are weighing in on the drama surrounding Lauren Mathias and Dr. John. And honestly, I can't even say the internet split. It's more like 80% say they're the stalkers and 20% hanging on to the hidden gem narrative. But we're going to go over both sides and you will be the one to decide because that's what we do here. We let everybody make their own decisions. So grab your coffee or your favorite herbal remedy and let's get into it because this one's getting really messy, you guys. Shout out to my Power Replay crew and my Dragonflies. Thank you guys for holding it all down for me. I'm going to roll a few credits while we wait for everyone to come in. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
All right, guys. So before we get started, if we can do that algorithm dance party that I like to do, just start warming up your fingers and dancing them right up to the hearts and thumbs up button. We're coming to you today on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Hey, y'all. How you doing? Giving me the thumbs up just helps us dance out into the algorithm, party out there, find more interesting people, bring them back to our safe space where we like to have a lot of fun. We have a lot of snark, but we do it in a way that is all kind and respectful to one another, I would say.
Pick me up off the floor, I've fallen down.
And if you're not subscribed, why are you not subscribed? I would really, really, really love to have you as a Power subscriber. If you really like my content, be sure to become a Dragonfly, and that's our membership, and it's $2.99 a month. I release all my videos early. We have special emojis over in the chat room. I kind of share things ahead of time with my Dragonflies, and I go live sometimes just for the Dragonflies. It's a way that I can support you guys and give you more content, and it's a way for you to support our channel. It's $2.99 a month, and I would love to have you.
And there is the link if you would like to join. I will also put it in the YouTube show notes. Everything that we view today, I will put over in the YouTube show notes. I do this for fair play use and cite my sources. Today we're coming to you on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So hi, everyone. Hi, everyone in chat. Let me say hi to chat really quick, and then we're going to get into it. What I don't understand the people that are taking up for her. Sorry, guys, it's morning and I'm just like, you are the first people I'm talking to this morning. So it takes me a minute to get my speech in order. So yes, it's so obvious what's going on here. Yeah, I don't understand it either. But I work hard on just letting people think what they want to think. And because I am a First Amendment person and I fight hard for my free speech, and I don't want anyone to impede me. And so, yeah, but it's very hard for me to wrap my head around it too. Hi from Denmark. Hi, Jen, or Zen. Oops. I was just thinking about Jen the other day. There's another person that comes in here by the name of Jen, and I was thinking about her. But hi, Zen. And hi, Sarah Connor. Welcome. I'm glad you found us. Hi, everybody that's listening to us out there in the ethers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, let me get comfy, cozy, get my coffee around me. I hope you guys have some coffee or whatever it is that you do at whatever time of day it is for you. Hi from the UK. Hello. All right, so here we go. The first thing I wanted to take a peek at is some more fun things, okay? I'm a Gen Xer. I'm a Gen Xer who announces they're a Gen Xer. I'm one of those. And I like to giggle and And, your mama jokes were what we were raised on. So it's how we deal with this nonsense. So it's how we're dealing with it. And so I found some funny things, and then we're going to get into some Elise things. And then we're going to get into some stuff over on TikTok. I want to take a look at Kesha's live that she did. And also Megan Connor has been doing some lives, and I want to take a peek at hers. So buckle up, because we're ready. Are you ready? Are you ready? I'm ready. I didn't talk about it yesterday. I purposely took a break and just put out some videos. And I was over at J for Justice and watching Kresha. And, I enjoy coming down into comments and other creators' videos with you guys. And you guys are you give me such insight. And I have a lot of fun over at Jay's channel, and Kesha's channel kind of breaks my heart a little bit, because when you think about it, well, I mean, this is Lori Vallow's family, and they've already gone through a horrible tragedy, and being drawn into this is just so classless. Like, when people come in and say, how can you do this? This is just such mean girl behavior on our part and stuff. And it's like, no, it's exposing mean girl behavior. It's like, enough is enough with this behavior. I'm just tired of it. Coffee in hand. Yeah. The one good thing from all of this is I found like 10 great new content. Yes, I'm even finding great new content creators. So thank you, Lauren and Dr. John. I wish I could say Dr. John as well as J for Justice. She says it well, but I've got the long crime down. Long crime. Because I'm a good whiner. Long crime. Those sound bits are in my head. Anyway, okay, let me get this shared. Sorry. You guys get me off on a few tangents here and there. All right. It's cold here in Florida, too. I want to moan about that a little bit. Ooh. It's probably cold everywhere else in the world, too. All right. So I saw this the other day, and I was going to show it to you guys, but I didn't. These are a few TikTokers this is what TikTok is finally coming alive with this case. It's taken them a little bit longer to pick it up, but it's coming along. So this is Chasing Truth over on TikTok.
I chose the clown filter because Lauren from Hidden True Crime is a clown. You struck Kresha down for what? For showing the text that we all knew were going to come out? What exactly are you doing?
You know what? I pulled this video up for you guys really quick. Let me do that for you guys. So this was a video that I did 2 days ago, or was it 4 days ago, when I introduced this case and put it all together. So this will, and I'm going to do another one of these for you today and get it out later in the day. But this was the case, an introduction to the case and what has happened. There's been a lot more that's happened in 4 days, but here's a quick little introduction.
Or I see it happening more and more. People start using legal things to dance around situations to try to silence people from talking. There's a difference from allowing people free speech and defamation. So is this defamation or is this just free speech? I have to tell you, I have gone through some of it. I've been paying attention to this case for the last, I think it happened like 3 days ago. I actually woke up to it, much like you're probably waking up to this or going to sleep. One of the two. It's early morning here in Florida. It's like 5:30 in the morning. But I woke up to Lauren in this live, and I looked at it, and it looked like it had been going on for like 5 hours. And I was like, please, has she been doing this all night? What is going on here? But yeah, she had been doing it all night, and she went on for another like 3 or 4 hours. So let me tell you a little bit about this in case you don't know what the heck I'm talking about. Lauren Mathias did a 9-hour live stream. Yes, 9 hours, where she talked about having a stalker.
I say to this that people try to shame us for talking about it. Well, shame on Lauren for bringing it to us. You know, I'm done with this. I will be shamed with what I'm actually doing, but what was actually brought to me. I didn't go to Lauren's house and seek this out. I woke up to it, and I don't watch Lauren. It was in my For You page. So shame on them for trying to shame us for covering the truth. They're just mad because we didn't jump on their narrative. Like, they must have really thought they had people in their pocket to think that they could fool us with the truth and to fool a true crime community. People that do this for shits and giggles. I don't know what to say to it. But anyway, let's get back.
But here's the twist. The person she's calling her stalker, which I have a real issue that during this 9-hour live, she called this person a stalker. I think somebody counted it over 400 times.
No, Jay didn't. Colby did what Colby did. And Colby is, I think, quickly realizing that he hitched his wagon to the wrong side, because I've seen him in Kesha's live, and he's doing this, you know, I forget which news outlet he just did a report on. So yeah, I think Colby's realizing that he needs to lay low, or at least I hope he does, because I don't want to say too much about Colby, but he's not anyone that I hold up to anything, because he's truly troubled, and I feel horrible for the Lori Vallow family. And I do have some stuff I want to look at in this, because I followed the Lori Vallow case, but I didn't I rate things like, if I were to take a test on it, I would probably, like, at best get a C, right? I can name off the names in it, but I am getting confused with the family tree and stuff. So I want to take a look at the family tree and figure out this whole Kresha thing when we get to Kresha, because Kresha breaks my heart.
Over 400 times. And I think she said their name once or twice, the real name. But other than that, she was labeled a stalker over 400 times in this live. But the twist is that in the stalker.
Yes, that's what I was trying to get to. Well said, Jay. He can be troubled and also be a victim at the same time. And we can look at it and tell the truth and not be insulting by the truth. Because if you own what you've done, then the truth cannot be an insult to you. Because we've all made mistakes, which that's, to me, when I say, when you do that to another person, when you harm someone in an X way, whether it be a female, male, or a child, you don't just accidentally do that. You know, you don't just stumble onto that victimization. That's a choice. And that's something that I can't look away from. So, but I also realize he's a victim. I don't want to hammer it home either.
Stalker was once a hidden true gem. And in most creators' world, they have membership programs. Here it's the Dragonflies. Over on Hidden True Crime, they call them hidden gems. Well, this woman, the stalker, whose real name is Christina, was a hidden gem. She was a friend. She called her a friend. She actually met her through covering the same true crime cases. And that woman's name is Christina. She was part of Lauren's Hidden Gem membership program, and even introduced on one of Lauren's videos. Lauren herself introduced this person as a friend. But during Lauren's live, she was somebody she hired to work for her. But it was later, Christina is also an artist, and it was later Lauren hired her to do some artwork for the Hidden True Crime channel. But first, she was a friend. So what happened? Well, apparently behind the scenes, Lauren isn't the calm, polished person she shows on camera. She even actually said this during her 9-hour live. She said, in her own words during the live, she admitted that, like, they want her and her husband, John, but I think they call him Dr. John. They keep it PG in front of the camera, but behind the camera, they're a bit more raunchier. So then came the group text. Lauren got into private chats, and I'm just paraphrasing. We're going to go through this all. So this is just like the basics. Then came some group texts. Lauren got into private chats where she was allegedly trashing people, including Christina. And she called Christina annoying and twitchy and said she had no plans to have her back on her channel. And that, of course, got back to Christina. Christina confronted Lauren and Lauren apologized. But then Christina hit back saying, guess what? Nobody's happy with you, and we're about to release 6 years of your texts where you trashed people. Well, Lauren freaked. She freaked. And who wouldn't freak? 6 years of text. I've learned to never say anything in text that I would not say to a person's face. Just because of this very reason that you have to be, when you're a content creator, especially, you have to be a person of your word. You have to not trash people in text, right? And it's not only people, this is all alleged, and this is all our research and whatever, but it's all not only that, but it could also be possible true crime victims that she's been trashing. We don't know yet who she's been trashing, but she's freaking out. Lauren's freaking out. So they say to her, guess what? Chicky poo, this is what's about to happen to you. So now Christina didn't dox her. She didn't release private info, but she did go over to TikTok and created a second account, not her art account, but a second account where under a smaller account, she started exposing what she said were Lauren's own words and behavior, but she never said it was Lauren. But and this is crazy. See, this is where I think they're both in the wrong. I don't think either one of these women are in the right, but I guess we're going to decide who's more wrong. So Christina's over on TikTok in a second smaller account, exposing Lauren, putting all these stories. We'll look at some of these, putting all these stories up about Lauren, not saying it's Lauren, just saying it's a content creator, and just like exposing. So, some of it's petty, some of it's disturbing, including an odd mention that Lauren made. So these were all private conversations. That's another thing. I don't share my deeply private stuff with people right on the fly, especially. And I don't think like mixing business with friendship is a good thing. You can tell this is mean girl gone off the rail behavior that's happening in this case. But there was an odd mention Lauren made about her brother who was in a coma and something about sperm and wanting to get pregnant, and that's in there. That's crazy. So now Lauren was trying to get a stalker order, basically a protection order against Christina. From the outside, it looks like a fight between two women who were once collaborators turned sour over ego, reputation, and control. There's nothing that drives me more nuts about content creation is the constant cycle of exposing, fighting, and trying to weaponize their platforms. I can't stand it. So today we're going over all of this, the receipts, the relationships. This is going to be an ongoing thing. I mean,
so that's a quick little update on the situation, how it all started, the he said, she said, whatever said. So getting back over here, I found this funny little thing. It was a Hidden True Crime, the musical. And what this person did was take Lauren's actual words during her 9-hour summit at the hotel room. That's another thing. Have we figured out why she was at a hotel room doing this instead of at her house? Like, did she know that this live was going to go so long? She didn't want to bother Dr. John because Dr. John wasn't in it. Why were they in a hotel room? Does anyone know that? But anyway, this channel took the Hidden True Crime, the musical. We won't play it all, but we'll play a bit of it. And then, of course, we'll put it down in the YouTube show notes so you can go over and watch all of it.
Hey, everyone.
I've never been more nervous for a live in my entire life. And I've done a lot of lives. And this is not a lie or a show that I ever wanted to do or ever thought
You guys aren't gonna shame me for doing what every live streamer comes on here to do to get clicks and views, so you'll watch me so I can make a little extra money. You won't shame me for the obvious. Like, I don't know where it became okay to shame people for stating the obvious. Yes, that's what I'm doing. I'm on here for clicks and views, and I do hope to make some money so that I can eat. How about that?
I would have to do. And this has been ongoing for months, what I have been dealing with. This is not drama, hidden true crime doesn't get involved in drama. We stay very clear from that, and those of you that know us know that. So I hope that nobody calls this drama ever again. In fact, it's so real life, what has been going on with my family and with me for months, that I decided to go to where I felt would protect me, and that was the courts and legal. And I filed a civil stalking injunction. Somehow someone decided to let law and crime know about my civil stalking injunction. Law and crime decided that they deserve to have cameras in the courtroom while I am explaining what my family has been going through for months. That law and crime, I don't know, is it a slow true crime month? They thought that my family's pain should be live streamed on their trial channel. I am a limited public figure. I'm just a mom who has a YouTube channel. I'm not Johnny Depp, I'm not Amber Heard, I'm not Gwyneth Paltrow. I am a mother trying to protect my family, and I am a journalist who has never ever in my life heard of anyone streaming of civil stalking injunction. Because of what Law and Crime did, I had to dismiss my civil stalking injunction. And I find it disgusting that anyone would want to do that to me or my family. I wanted to keep this private. I wanted to keep my pain and the bullying and the abuse and the harassment and the defamation and the pain that I have been dealing with behind the scenes for months. I wanted to keep it private, not live stream to millions of people watching War and Crime.
Okay, so I'm sorry, that really makes me laugh. And I needed to share that with you guys. This channel that did it is just, yeah. It's Olopp, Olopp. So check out that song. I think I'm going to probably have to play that a little bit throughout this live. So, just get comfy with it. All right, we're going to keep going. I wanted to also cover down the rabbit hole news because we talked about Annie Elise yesterday. And this is a follow-up from Grayson. And this is a different situation, but it does have to do with Annie Elise. So guys, if you guys could just give me the thumbs up, if you could just hit that like button, helps me go out into the algorithm party out there. And also check to see if you're subscribed. We've got a lot of new subscribers. Welcome to everybody, and welcome to all my old subscribers. I love my OGs. And yeah, so this is Down the Rabbit Hole. And so this is a situation that I didn't know happened. And I don't know how I feel about it. I'm just trying to I guess I'm this whole case is opening my eyes to a lot of new things that creators do behind the scenes that I didn't know they were doing. But so apparently, well, I knew there were subreddits that are created about content creators, and they'll dig into their lives and just kind of they're subreddits and they're about content creators, but usually it's content creators that have behaved badly or usually that's what it is. But apparently some content creators are creating Reddit subreddits where they create their own snarks. So Grayson went in and created because Grayson used to be, hold on. Grayson used to be a producer for Annie Elise. When she was a producer for Annie Elise, she created a number of subreddits that were snarks in relation to Annie Elise. And they do this in order so that nobody can get the name, but also so that they can control the narrative. Well, that you're probably saying, well, that's interesting, Amy, but why does that have to do with Lauren? Well, it has to do with Lauren because of what Grayson has to say and her feelings about this whole, which is happening. And I see in my chat, and they're angling it. I think they're towards me and Jay. Jay's the other, Jay for Justice, the other person that she's a very large content creator. She's doing a bang up job on this. She's funny, but fair, but also won't lie about the narrative. And people are throwing in our faces that we're doing it for clicks and views. Well, why are we on here then, you guys? Do you think, like, we do, we're content creators, and yeah, we're hoping to get some clicks and views, right? So this is what Miss Grayson has to say about all of this. And I just find it pretty ironic that everything that these people are trying to shove in our faces, they're doing too. So that's my intro to this one.
Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I always have to clear my throat. It's like my throat knows that I'm going live. I have to like clear it real quick. Shout out to everybody. Gypsy Soul, thank you for becoming a member. Shout out to you, my love. Thank you.
Gonna get us past the shout outs
that people get in here, so because I got something to say. Hey, minds y'all. Hey, everybody. Man, I swear my throat always plays with me. Thank you. Okay, so yesterday I was live. I did some cropping of a clip, and I re-uploaded it as an independent video on a Premiere, and it was pertaining to Grayson and her statements on Reddit, and how I had noticed as well.
Thank you, Amy. And Amy, I was watching some of your coverage, and it's great too. And thank you for using my content. I really appreciate that. I really think that when a content creator uses another content creator and shouts them out and does whatever, it forwards that content creator along. I don't think it's a copyright issue at all, if done right, and if done in a where you're adding your own thoughts and feelings to it. So thank you, Amy.
A bunch of Redditors had noticed that she was a moderator for various snark pages for Annie Elise. And I had made a comment. I said, well, I wonder if Annie Elise is aware of this, because you're literally a moderator for everything that's Annie Elise. Snark pages wise. Grayson came in the comments, and I did pin her comment. And, you know, and I'm going to read her comment. I think it's important to read it. She said, this is Grayson. I'm the owner of them because I worked for her and created them as a business move years ago while working with her. There's no activity on any of ones I took out, and she's aware of them, as it was a group decision when I did it. In fact, they're locked down, and there's never been activity on them. Glad you guys can find anything for clicks and views to make someone look bad before checking with the source first. That's what she said.
Do you hear her? Glad that you'll do anything for clicks and views before looking for the source. And this has, I don't know her name, but this has her hot. That's the crux of this whole video. She talks about some other stuff, but she brings it home in the end.
Now, I'm not a punk. I pinned the comment, and I said to her, hey, Grayson, I will gladly, if you can provide me some explanation as to, like, even that didn't make sense to me. How does somebody have snark pages as a, business move, whatever it may be? Never heard of that, but apparently that's a thing. I don't have anybody who has snark pages on me, but I think that there's like a business aspect to it, right? Okay. So I messaged her back in that same comment. I said, I want you to tell me, explain that to me. How does that work? And she says, I'll email you. And she did. Now, I'm not divulging any emails. She asked that I don't, off the record. I'm not doing that. Okay. Luckily, shout out to Annie Elise. She came in the comments. Hold up, y'all. Luckily, Annie Elise, no, don't, Chico, don't do that, y'all. Maybe if I get to like 1 million, or maybe it's like a thing that you do when you're like in the, I don't know, 300,000 subscriber page. I've never heard of anybody do this for their own.
I didn't know it was a thing. I really didn't. And I just don't quite know how I feel about it. I mean, I don't know.
But don't do it. Don't do it. And y'all heard me. Do not do it. I just said it publicly. Don't do it. Okay. So what was I going with this? So Annie Elise came into the comments. Shout out to Annie Elise. And she actually clarified. She said that is correct. It's in the comment. I, clipped it and I put it up on the community wall. She said that that she did have, let me see if I can read it in verbatim because I don't want to make up words here. Hold up. Da-da-da. She says, hi, this video was just sent to me. Just want to clarify that I knew about these pages, is what Annie Elise said. She created them a couple years ago so other people couldn't. So what happens is that people, I guess there's something on Reddit where if you create a page, there's only so much you can do to take the name. It's got something to do with the name or something like that. She says, as far as I know, nothing was ever posted on them and it was just done to take the name. That was it. So it's like a business thing that people do. Never heard of that. I guess it's a thing. So that's why those are out there. I appreciated that Annie Elise came into the comments because she didn't have to, right? She didn't have to say anything. Grayson did email me and, was willing to provide a date, time, and receipt and whatever. After Annie Elise came into my comments, I privated the video. And then I wrote back, to Grayson, basically said, okay, it's on private. I'm not divulging anything. Nothing will be shared. And I mean that. But I want to make something very clear, okay? Because I think it's important, right? So a couple things that I want to talk about. Grayson, this is to you, love. Like, this is really to you, all right? I understand you're dealing with a lot. I get it. There's a lot going on and, everybody's coming at you. She even had to delete.
Yes, you can. And I don't understand why people do that because it doesn't do anything for your channel. I mean, I guess it would do something like if you were trying to get some advertisers and they would think that you have more subscribers, but they look at your analytics and you can tell channels that have bought subscribers. There's certain websites that you can look at people's analytics and you can tell. And what's the point? Like, just earn it the good old fashioned way, right?
Your comment because she didn't like the one that I had pinned because it was too much for her. But I do appreciate that she was willing to clarify what that was. To tell a YouTuber that you're doing this for clicks and views, and not just Grayson, because there's a lot of them out there that are saying, like a lot of the supporters, this is just clicks and views. I don't know, like if you just woke up and realized the fact that Hidden True Crime is a channel that gets clicks and views based off of the information that they put out there. That's great that they're able to check whatever source first and stuff like that, right? But even that, I find that to be interesting because, when Lauren went live for 9 hours, did she ever consult with Kay Woodcock about how she would feel about her relatives, her grandchildren, her grandchild being mentioned or being compared as her being kind of like JJ or kind of like Tylee or like Charles Valla or all these people? So let me pump your brakes a little bit when you tell a YouTuber that she's doing it for clicks and views when the business of YouTube is clicks and views. But here's the difference between myself and others. I own it, right? All day, every day.
We own it here. I'm not trying to pretend that I'm not coming on here for clicks and views. So if you think I'm not here because I don't want you to watch me, that's insane. And I'm not living in this insanity anymore. You guys, I've gone through a lot of trauma in my last 10 years. And it's like the other day I was telling one of my friends who hadn't seen me in a year. And I was like, it's like I woke up about 2 or 3 months ago, like the lights came back on. I used to be like how I am right now, but I got really scared because life beat me down. But like the world, and I'm not pretending. And I'm not going to be shamed for what I'm actually doing. Like, take that shame elsewhere. Because yes, we're here for clicks and views. And so is Hidden True Crime. And if you don't think they got a huge payday off of that 9 hour, the 3 hour, and then going on this other thing, then I don't know what to tell you. Like, I really don't know what to tell you. I don't think anything that can possibly be said, I don't think you're ever going to change your mind because it's out there. Everything is out there. More and more is coming. So I don't know what to say to you. I try to be nice to just about everyone, but I really don't know what to say to you at this point because here, yes, clicks and views. That's what I'm doing. That's what everybody on YouTube is doing that has a channel. Spoiler alert. Okay. All right. I needed to get that off my chest. Okay. Let's keep going. And along the way, I wanted to know exactly, like, I'm a woo-woo girl. You know, I'm into astrology and whatnot. And I was just wondering, like, what the heck is Lauren's sign? And so it took me over to her Instagram page and I found this picture, which, I mean, some of the outfits, I really like fashion. So I'm going to talk about it. Some of the fashion choices she makes, it's just like, this was a choice. This was a choice. But anyway, if you want to know what she is, she's a Capricorn, which my mother is a Capricorn. So maybe this is why she rubs me the wrong way. But these were some interesting things that I saw over on her page. And I saw this We Respond Hidden True Crime. And then just so you can see the other side, you know, what's being said. These are some of the comments that we're getting for them. Sending so much love to you guys. This has weighed so heavily on my heart. I've been a silent supporter on YouTube for years and have always loved your heart and truth. It has been such a safe space for me, and I'm just so sorry for everything you are going through. Forget her not making a safe space for anybody else. It's just all about Lauren. I'm a trafficking survivor, which is horrible, gosh. And the people who harmed me were never brought to justice. But seeing you guys see, she's playing to these people that are actual victims by calling this person a stalker over and over and over, and just pounding it and using their big platform for these people that were actually victims. For a little background, I'm an ex-social worker. I worked at 2 domestic shelters in my life, and I feel like I truly know what stalking is, and I don't see this as stalking. This is defamation. What Christina did, yeah, shitty, but they're so much worse. And she never showed up at her house. And Dr. John hammers it home that in this day and age, you don't have to show up at the house. But if she never made a conscious effort to be near Lauren, and that's been proven, like, she didn't think Lauren was going to Comic-Con. Sorry. I've lost the narrative. I lost the name of where they all were. Sorry, you guys. Not Comic-Con. Why is that stuck in my mind? Not MurderCon either. CrimeCon. Jeez. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Anyway, so they weren't. She didn't think she was going to Comic-Con. I did have a stroke. Like, I don't mean to make, like, people have been making fun of the way I talk lately too, but I just want you guys to know I did have a stroke 5 years ago, and one of the main things that I lost was my speech. I had to go into speech therapy a few times to get my words back. So when I get excited about stuff, words fly out of my head. So that's what's happening right now. But anyway, getting back to this. So she didn't show up at Comic-Con knowing that Lauren was going there. Lauren was telling everybody that she wasn't going. So she spent all this money, went to Comic-Con. She wasn't following Lauren from state to state. Lauren had to come to her state to serve her to where she was, and had to go to her state to do this law thing. And it's just like, she wasn't stalking her. She just wasn't. She was defaming her, maybe. But I don't even know that. It would have to go in front of a judge, and the whole thing would have to be heard for me to make that full decision. But she's targeting these poor people, and it just burns my ass, you guys, because I've worked with true victims, and it burns my ass. let's keep going. I found another creator, YouTube Streets, that was talking about Lauren from Hidden True Crime just got caught up in lying to the police. And I want to take a look at that. And then we're going to go into Kresha's and Megan's.
Highest cases of main character syndrome. Lauren from Hidden True Crime did that 9-hour live saying that she has a stalker. It seems like she covered so many true crime cases for years and seen how much clout these people that are part of the case, a victim or the one that actually committed the crime, get the clout. She had to get the attention this time.
Oh, and by the way, thank you so much. I just noticed this. Angel, how do you get this up here when... Hold on. I want to, I see some stickers coming through and I want to say thank you really quick. Thank you, Angel on Earth, for supporting this channel. It means a lot to me. How did I get a membership here? Just wondering. I didn't purchase it. Well, if it happened today, I don't know, but I had Amber from Into the Weeds podcast on the other day, and she bought some memberships, and then another listener bought a membership, so maybe you got one that way. But thank you so much for the $5 sticker, and welcome to the Dragonflies. Angel on Earth 7512, thank you so much for your sticker. Your support means so much to me. Just saying, Hidden True Crime is rolling in money. Yeah, well, we saw how much they made in 1 month, $25K. That's nothing to sneeze at. She acts so entitled, like, don't talk about me. But sorry, I was getting into my Lauren voice, but I'll insert myself in the lives of others. Isn't that so true? So disgusting. It's like the people that do the double talk that drive me crazy. Why does she need to be a different person? I get maybe not swearing, because once I start swearing, I can't stop. It's like eating potato chips. I just, like, once the swear words start rolling off my mouth, same with the likes. Once I start getting to my like mode, I think I'm going to have a like swear jar, because that's my new thing. When I first started in college, I was a DJ, and was my big thing that I had to break myself of. But now it's like, I can't stop saying like. But anyway, I don't understand it either. Thank you so much, Dr. Von Decay, for your sticker. You are so welcome. Thank you guys for your support. It just means a lot to me. And, and you don't have to do these stickers. I don't expect them, because I know what it's like not to be able to add a little extra and have that money to give. So just showing up for me and hitting the like button or sharing my content or subscribing means so much to me too. So thank you all.
Process of her 9-hour live trying to expose her quote unquote stalker, right? She's actually exposed herself. One of the things is she's actually preserving and keeping her dead brother's sperm, and a lot of people, including me, think this is kind of strange.
And there are many people out there that have fertility issues that need sperm donors, and we wondered at some point, should we save my brother's sperm?
And not
I've been hearing about these monkeys with the herpes. That's terrifying. I've been seeing pictures of monkeys in Florida. It makes sense that we would have monkeys in Florida, but I didn't know that we had wild monkeys just running around Florida. It totally makes sense. And, sometimes I'm that blonde girl that, has that I just learned this today moment, but I don't want herpy monkeys either around me.
Not only that, it seems like she's digging the grave deeper and deeper, now involving her husband into the mix, and they did a 4-hour live on the subject at hand again, and you kind of see why it got to where it's at. These people over exaggerate, and I'm going to show you an example right here.
By the way, one of the people saying this because of this was on our show years ago. And I will say this, one of the worst moments I've ever had in 5 years, one of the moments that pissed me off to no end, unlike every other moment on any show I've ever been on, this person was on the show. And somebody, a viewer asked a question of me that was extremely emotional. And I was pondering the question. You could see I was getting emotional. I was going to give one of the best responses I've ever given. And you know what happened? Because this person couldn't handle the fact that I was getting emotional, they cut me off.
What? That cracks me up. No. Who interrupted Dr. John? Who did it? I thought when I first watched it, I was like I was in the mind thought experiment, and I was thinking Christina, but I realized later that it was Lori that he was talking about. Lori interrupted him when he was at his most vulnerable, about to give his best comment, his best reply ever, and Lori just landed on it. Yeah. The nerve.
They absolutely cut me off, refused to let me answer because they couldn't handle that emotion in a male, especially in a male, that raw emotion that I was about to express. And I was so angry. If this person wonders why she's not on our channel, you might want to look at yourself.
Yeah, Lori.
You might want to look at the fact that you cut
Holding a mirror up to you, Lori. You might want to look in the mirror, Lori.
me off in one of the most critical moments on one of our shows that I've ever had. You might want to look at the fact that people didn't like you.
Now, apparently Lauren's husband here is talking about Lori Hellis. Now, the reason I showed this clip, the most important part, in my opinion, is that they kind of
be with people like that, you guys. Actually, I have dated people that are like that, and if you're like that, okay, but I just can't. I just need people that have like a little more strength in them than that.
exaggerate things and they take things to the extreme. Okay, this is just YouTube, all right? I don't know how many live streams and panels these people been on, but people cut people off. I mean, how many times has DVS cut everybody off on our show? It is what it is at this point. How many times has Ronnie done it? How many times have I done it? We've all done it. It is what it is. You don't take it to this extreme, and this is just why they took this stalking thing to this extreme. It didn't need to get this far. But again, they ran out of content, or they wanted to be.
Have any of you guys been watching the new Murdaugh series? I like it, but I'm annoyed by these series that come out each week where you have to sit and wait, where they don't just drop them all. And that's what's happening. I'm doing that. And I just finished the Gacy one, which the Gacy one was so much better than the Ed Gein one. And there's another one that just came out too. I can't think of the name of it.
The main characters.
It's Welcome to Derry. It's not even one of those, but that's another one that's dropping each week. That's annoying. But the Return to Derry one's a good one too, you guys. So far, the first episode was really good.
And they got their wish. Because look, this is her second highest viewed video. What? So you're telling me this wasn't pre-orchestrated, and to a certain degree with how Lauren wanted to, take the narrative over? Okay, and just 20 hours ago, I put a post out.
So good. I liked it so much better than the Gein one because they focused on the victims. Oh, it was so good. It was heartbreaking too at the same time. I didn't realize that. I guess I actually didn't realize that they weren't all men that liked men, that he was just killing young boys at random. I thought they were all prostitutes or something like that. So I really loved the way that they humanized the victims. And the guy that did Gacy was really good. He's the same guy that was in Orange is the New Black, and he also was he's in Severance. So he's a good actor.
Saying, do you feel bad for hidden true crime, Lauren? 16% says yes, we do feel bad, but 84% say no. Off 400.
I got the little, like how are we feeling about this on the YouTube street? So 84% are not feeling bad for Lauren, and only 16%. So I kind of gave her a little bit more because this is just another creator's vote, right? But How are you guys feeling? Do you feel bad for her at all? I really am not feeling bad for her. And usually I do end up feeling bad, even if they're the perpetrators. I will at one point, like, because I feel bad for human beings. I think it's my psychology degree. Like that kicks in, and I think I say, wow, you know, in their youth, they were probably this and that. But I got to remind myself that just because, you know, I had shitty stuff happen to me, you had shitty stuff happen to you, they had shitty stuff happen to them, you know, it doesn't excuse the shitty behavior.
37. Now let's look and see what some people are saying about this whole situation.
I started swearing and I just swore over and over again. Okay, I'm going to reel it in.
So there's that, the channel, there's that. Sometimes I've noticed that people who like to talk trash behind the scenes get to a point like they can't stop it. They do it before they even think. And I think she got caught up thinking stupidly that her message would never get out. She made a fortune off the Daybell case. All that time talking trash about Kay and her daughter Kresha behind the scenes, that's like kicking a basket full of puppies in people's eyes. Another user said, truthfully me.
That way too. I feel the way, like, it's hard for me. We're going to go into Kresha in just a minute, but it's actually kind of hard for me to talk about Kresha and the Vallow family because I feel like I'm kicked in the gut when I think about what she's doing to that family. I feel kicked in the gut. And so if I feel that way, I can only imagine how they feel.
7416 says, yes.
Go get the baby bird out of the shower. I have a little bird and he's very talkative. So if you hear a little voice in the background, that's him. And I live in a very small apartment. It's like 2 rooms. So I can't really keep him away. I keep him away as long as I can. But, you know, I have animals. So I'm going to go get them. And then we're going to go into Kresha. I keep wanting to call her Kesha, like the music singer. Kresha.
And no, I feel like Christina the stalker is acting like a scorned ex, but I don't think she's a stalker. I think Lauren should have made a statement about it, not a 9-hour live for fuck's sake, and then stop talking about it. I haven't seen any proof of her bad-mouthing victims yet. And then Pebble says, don't know all of the story, but I get the gist of it. 9 hours, that's a long time to piss and moan about something, and to film yourself doing it. Which woman is more unhinged, Lauren or Christina? Is it a tie? Is it a contest? Who's winning? And when Lauren tried to call the police on this girl while she was at the restaurant, even the Boise Police Department, the police officers that arrived on the scene, even said, I did not see anything that was threatening or intimidating. Unfortunately, this is what comes with true crime. You know, you put your
especially since Jay pointed this out, and I'm gonna have to agree because I actually use ChatGPT I write my own stuff, but I have really bad spelling and grammar. I can read really well. I can read the words and I know what they are, but I can't spell them for whatever reason. And so I use it to clean my stuff up. But yeah, I can see, because if you don't put your own, I am always fighting with ChatGPT because it wants to change my tone. I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but I have a very specific tone. I make up words and I say things a certain way, and I force ChatGPT to use my tone, to use my tone. So, but I think she just feeds her stuff in and then just reads out ChatGPT because it's very ChatGPT-ish. Because I read Sarah Boone's letters from prison, and hers is just word salad ChatGPT-ish, and Lauren reminds me of that. But I mean, some people might like that. Like that might be they have like 200-300 subscribers. So I mean, it's a thing. Maybe, yeah, it's a thing.
Face all over your channel and you make yourself the main character, again, they're going to treat you.
I guess I need to say this. I don't know if I've said this yet, but I try to say it in every live, that this is all my opinion, my research. I urge you to go out there and do your own research. You don't have to think how I think. I'm not here to make you think the way I think. So yeah.
As somebody that's in true crime, someone that commits the crime, Law and Crime was going to record your whole court session because they would make money. You've made money doing the same thing. Doesn't make a lot of sense. But let's listen to this hearing, because there's a couple things in here that is very, very interesting to me, and I think you might have missed it.
04055. Can I get counsel to state their appearance for the record? Dastan Dio for the petitioner.
And James Dunkelberger, the law firm of Bennett, Dueler, Johnson, and Deere for the respondent. And respondent is seated with me at council table.
Thank you. Will you state your name again?
James Dunkelberger.
You know, it is interesting because I'm hearing a lot of booziness about Lauren, because I used to like my booze back in the day too. I was a boozy girl, and I can kind of, now that I'm seeing it. And she also mentioned that she has some autoimmunes. She said she has MS, and I have MS, and looking at her face now, I can see like kind of when she's flaring and when she's not. And when she's flaring, just go home. There's nothing you can do when, like, you're doing too much. And also, you shouldn't be drinking with those autoimmunes. They just make them worse. Yeah. And Sarah Boone, I say this because Sarah Boone, I believe, is a full-blown alcoholic narcissist that has real issues. And so I always wondered, like, when Sarah Boone became sober, because I one of my jobs, I worked as an intake worker. I was the women's social worker, and I did intakes, and I was working as my CAC at a substance abuse facility. And that was one of my favorite jobs, because it was so interesting to see people sober up, and the ones that were good people before they became drunks and addicted to whatever, they would become good people again. And I just was wondering, like, is Sarah Boone, like, was she a good person? Is she going to do her glow up? And so maybe, like, we're going to see, I heard someone say Lauren's going to end up, this is just speculation, that we're going to see Lauren ending up in some kind of substance abuse treatment, and there's going to be a divorce. And then, but that got me to thinking, are we going to see a different Lauren one day? What do you guys think? Are we going to see someone that's not so self-centered, full of themselves, calling a woman a stalker over 400 times? I always think of that Princess Bride. I want to put together the clip where the guy says, "You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means." That's what I think when she keeps saying the stalker name.
Dunkelberger?
Yes, sir.
Okay, counsel, before we get going.
Yes, I am putting that together for you guys because the story is out there. I'm trying to find it. Tanika 2 Cents, I think, reported on that Sarah Boone story about her getting kicked out of Bible study. But Tanika just had her baby, and I don't want to bother her. So I've been trying to go through Tanika's stuff, and I can't quite find it. But I am just gonna text her and because I need to congratulate her about the baby anyway.
Do you want to proceed by proffer, and I'll ask put your clients and witnesses under oath and see if they'll affirm it, or do you want to call up witnesses, cross-examine, direct examine?
I think witnesses, we would prefer calling witnesses, not proffer.
Okay.
I love to
We are set for an hour hearing, so use that as you see fit. I notice I did have a motion to allow some witnesses to appear remotely.
Yes, Your Honor, that's our motion.
Are they out of state?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Petitioner also had a motion to allow one of our statement witnesses to appear remotely. The court granted that motion, I think, this morning, and provided the link.
Okay, so this one just goes into the court hearing. I do want to set a time where we go through the court hearings and do all of that together, because I want to get a better, I also need to go through all the police body cam, because I'm getting them mixed up. I think I'm getting my dates mixed up. I realized the other day when I was trying to talk about the restaurant incident and and there was another incident that I was putting together, and I need to get that fixed. So now I want to go into Kresha, but before I do, I wanted to pop this up, and I need your guys' help, because you know how I like to rate, like I said, I rate what kind of grade I would get, and I'm only at a C grade level on this, and I'm trying to figure out the whole family tree here in the Vallow case. So I see that I know Kresha is Kay's daughter, and Kay and Larry are here at the top, and they don't even have Kresha on here, which is a little disappointing since she is at play. So I don't understand why she's not up there. But I had a question. Now I know some of Lori's husbands were not LDS. Was it Charles that wasn't LDS, which would mean that Kay and Larry and all of them are not LDS, or was it one of the other ones that wasn't LDS? I know they all converted, but was it Charles that converted? Do you guys know that? Just out of curiosity. Charles converted. Okay, I thought that's what it was. So that would mean that Kay and Larry and Kresha and all of them are not LDS. Okay, all right. That was a question that I had. And then Kresha is Kay's daughter. So for those that aren't quite up to it, like I'm not, Kay and Larry are not LDS, which would make Kresha not LDS, but her channel does talk a lot about LDS, considering that the people that unalived her nephew and niece, well, I'm going to call her her niece, even though, was LDS. So, okay. Kresha is now, but she talks a lot about the LDS on her page. Okay. All right. That's all I needed. I just wanted to pop that up. And also for those that aren't quite sure who Kresha is in this whole thing, well, Kresha is part of the Lori Vallow, Chad Daybell situation. She's not up here, but she should be like, I guess she should have a line going up wherever you put the kids on these things, like a little ... somehow. But Kresha is Kay's daughter, but I don't think she's Larry's daughter, but I don't know that for sure. Because I think that because I heard her say Larry and not dad, but I don't know that for sure either. So maybe you guys can fill me in on that one too, because I Googled it, I searched it, I looked around, and I couldn't find it. Kresha should be between Kay and JJ. Okay. So Kresha is like the redheaded stepchild in Lauren's situation, I think. Lauren treated Kresha like the redheaded stepchild, like the Cinderella, like trying to keep her behind the scenes. And there's a few texts and hot mic situations where our Lauren was not a nice person to Kresha. And from what I've understand from some of Kresha's live, that it seems to me like she, in Kresha's view, that our Lauren might have even came between her and her own mom. So, but Kresha did a live 2 days ago, and our friend had it removed. Our friend Lauren had it removed, and I had planned on covering it yesterday, but luckily Jay got a little clip of it. So we were able to use a little clip from Jay, and Queen Bee had a little bit of it too. So we were able to cover it a little bit, but then Kresha came back. She's like, you know what? You took it down. I'll come back and I'll do a 4-hour live. F you. That's what I'll do. And so that's what she did. And she got a lot of support. So I want to go over it. I did watch it up until this point, hoping and praying that it would still be there. I kind of took a few back clips from it just in case this one got took down, but luckily it didn't. Oh, I see some of you guys are in there. I see Dr. Vonda K in there. But I did see a lot of you guys in there. And I saw Jay for Justice. She was called out and for helping her. So that's really nice that Jay's offering her. Like, it's really awesome when larger content creators help smaller one out. It just, it makes us feel, I think Kresha's big thing is I heard it over and over again. And one of the things that really, the first thing that she said that socked me in the gut, and it was in one of her first live, the first live that she did, was that in order for Lauren to talk to her during lives, she would buy super stickers and super chats so that she would just read out her thoughts. How disgusting is that? So that a victim would purchase super stickers and super whatever just so Lauren would shout out her name and say how she felt, how Kresha felt. That shouldn't be. It should not be that way. Because I watched over on Jay's channel, she was watching, it was a lunch live that she used to do these lunch lives, and she would like swing the camera over and take video and do interviews with everybody and shout out their names and like talk about how, oh, it was so nice to hang out with them yesterday. So when it was convenient for her to name drop, it was okay. But then here, Kresha's in her live just trying to get her opinion on her family members that were murdered. And she has to buy super stickers because she's the redheaded stepchild. She would probably pull Kay and Larry, but I mean, even Kay and Larry are disgusted with her. They're still trying to be nice to her, but they don't like her behaviors. So this family is already broken, and she has inserted herself into a family's drama and causing more. It's like she's opening up a closed wound, a wound that's trying to close. It's gross. So this is Kresha. Let me, do you guys want to start it from, do you want me to start it from the beginning, or do you want to start it from where I left off, which is I listened to like an hour of it. Let me look and see what you guys are saying, and then we'll decide. Yeah, hey there. It's all coming out. Oh, and I'm not saying they don't have their own wacko issues. I'm just saying most are not nutty cults like the ones in you. Yeah. I don't want to like, Jehovah Witnesses, Mormons, Scientology, they all make me feel a little uncomfortable. And I've never figured out if it's because I don't know about it, if it's the lore. I've not really dove into those, that I don't even know if I want to call it religion. It's very cultish. So I don't know. Cults are scary. But there was one time where I was very interested. I liked all the Scientology stuff, but then after talking to Lindsay, who was kind of dating that Aaron guy, after finding about all the discord in that, even the people that are coming out against the Scientologists, it's like it's bitter. That little sub niche is bitter. And so YouTube is a huge platform. No reason to knock people down to elevate yourself. No, there isn't. And there's no reason, like, the people that don't want to talk about this, then just go someplace else, because it's just a huge platform. There's tons of people out there talking about other things. And I mean, it's just so many sub niches and little things you can get into on the internet that there's no need to care what other people are, if it's not your cup of tea, then go find some coffee. My parents still are very active, and I go once a year for my mom on my Mother's Day. And also, I didn't realize Amber from Into the Weeds texted me last night and told me that the Mormons own CrimeCon, which that's disappointing. I do have issues from certain things, but the people themselves, most, not the elders, are real nice. Do I know any Mormons? I only know one Mormon, and I really don't know them. I mean, I went to school with them. And the Mormons are really into ancestry. I don't know if you know that. They have a site online, this whole ancestry site, and I'm really into that. And I was trying to do a genealogy type thing. And one of my friends emailed me and was talking about like her church could help me. But then I felt like, man, is this a way to suck me in? Because I'm not really into that, because I don't want to be sucked into a cult. That's the last thing I need. But I think my mind's too strong for a cult. I can't even get with organized religion at this point. I believe in a higher power, but I don't really get into church and stuff either. Although I respect those that do, because whatever gets you to your goodness, I'm there for. Fox owns CrimeCon. Fox Media? Fox News? Ah, they own the ancestry. Okay. Yeah. The Mormon Church doesn't own CrimeCon? I don't know. I'll have to look into it to see. I can't say for sure if they own them or not. But so Jay's probably looked into it, and if Jay's saying that they just bought it this year, then I believe it. I believe Jay, actually. So there it is. You've probably looked into it. Maybe, you know what? I think that's where Amber heard it from. I think she heard it from you or from Kresha. But anyway, let's get into this. I didn't see whether you cared or not. So let's just start it from the start. So I can get over what
most part, except for my community are wonderful people, thank God. But every now and then I would get somebody sideways, and I don't cancel them. Lauren is, I would say that's a lie when she says that she is, well, I don't endorse cancel culture, and I'm like, as she deletes video of a family member, a victim's family member.
Everything Lauren does, you can go back into her shit and find her saying the exact opposite. Everything. She's gonna have one of those. She's gonna have a lot of snark pages. Who is it? Without a Crystal Ball, there are so many snark pages on her, and people love to do these things where she'll say one thing and then they'll throw up her words in the next clip right next to it. I cannot wait for those. I don't have the patience to do all that, but those are coming, my friends. Those are coming.
I don't know. Y'all think she has a conscience? I'm kind of wondering these days.
That's a good question. Do you think Lauren has a conscience at this point? I don't know. I have not seen any good things coming from this woman. I just see a lot of fakeness. And I really believe 2026, like I said, I'm a woo-woo girl, 2026 is going to be the year where, well, it already started in 2025, where if you're a fake person, it's going to come to play. It's coming out. So you better start owning your shit, because I'm not against people making mistakes in their past, because I've made a lot of mistakes in my past. But the only way that you can truly show that you're sorry for these mistakes is the first step is to own it. And then the second step is to never fucking do it again. And is Lauren capable of doing either of those things? I don't know.
I didn't wage war on her. Unfortunately, I didn't know it was waged on me. I didn't know that she was talking shit behind my back and my parents, and just exploitative and voyeuristic. I was watching Every Day with Jay before I came here, and she sent her her chat here, and so thank y'all for being here. The Cooter DeVille. They showed
Yeah,
up in the
I
Cooter.
want to learn how to do that too. And I love the Cooter DeVille. I've been thinking about the Cooter DeVille. And I've like, when you join the chat, do you get the keys to the Cooter DeVille? Because that's like awesome. And I love that somebody tried to shame Jay by telling her to close her legs, and she owned it, but she wasn't doing what, but she took that stuff and she monetized it and said, yeah, that's funny shit. I'm going to create a whole community around it. And she did. That's the shit I love.
Cooter DeVille. Did y'all park it? That's good, because I told Lauren she needs to get on her broom like a witch, and free up some parking spaces, right? But she was going over something that I wanted to go over anyways, and so when she did, I was like, oh yeah, good. All right, so I'm pulling that up.
I mean, that's funny
I'm
shit.
allegedly pulling that up. And I don't think that's the right one.
Okay.
Anywho,
We'll get it sped up for you guys.
I know I'm kind of jumping around. Let's see. We're just kind of cutting up and talking.
This was a good point. I love this point that she made about this guy saying, this is the guy, Joe Schmo is the guy that they got to follow this little, or Christina and her party of people around the restaurant and get closer and closer and take pictures and make it look like they were getting closer and closer to them, when the exact opposite happened. And Joe Schmo, and I've been trying to go over this interview. I've gotten us there a few times and then I get talking, but I promise you, I'm writing down these exact things that I want to go over with you guys. But Joe Schmo, I don't think it was on Jay's podcast. I think it was over on ATS, but I want to go over that because he tried to pretend like, oh, I didn't know her at all, which, I mean, I get, there's been like certain things where I used to lecture at steampunk conventions. I used to do this thing on Victorian death rights. And, there were probably creators that I met that you might find a picture with me with them and I could be like, oh, I barely know them. Right. So it could be, but this doesn't look like they barely know each other here.
No idea. Some people have said, yeah, that it would be October of this year. So I'm like, okay, is something about to happen? Like what's going on? I'm getting a little, I guess I'm maybe amping myself up. I tend to do that. But I mean, that's what I picked up. Like you, me, we're going to, got to have a meeting. And I assumed it was to talk about possibly indicting Melanie Pulowski. I'm sorry, I need to drop the Boudreaux. They're good people. And it's, again, Boudreaux's from Utah. That is so odd. It's like the Thibodeau lady that came out of.
I think Melanie should actually have been looked at way closer than she is. I think Melanie got off really, she to me is a Jen Soto, not in what, like, allowing her kids to be abused in that way, but to me is somebody who is more culpable than really. She got off easy, I think.
Arizona, like, how did the Boudreaux and the Thibodeaux, which is a running joke here in Louisiana, okay, the Boudreaux and Thibodeaux, that's like, it's kind of like a whatever and whatever walked into a bar. But I don't know. I hope so. Y'all send some good, positive, vibes, prayers.
Good analogy to Zen Jen of Wendy Adelson. Yes.
All the things. And let's just pray that it's God's will, or, you know what I'm saying? Let's just hope that happens. I feel for those kids, and it's scary. Can you imagine co-parenting with Melanie Pulowski? I think that would be a whole nother level. Well, anyway, so after we left that little room, we started moseying towards out here. And Megan was wanting to, like, she was like, you want to go out the stairwell, the side? And I was like, no, I was looking for Jason too. He wasn't in the juror box with us, who were given victim impact statements. So we had our little boy. So he was kind of not even in the courtroom at the time. So he was kind of off to the back. And I was kind of looking for him. So I was like, no, I need to go out the front. And so we're just kind of cutting up and talking, walking, and we go out the front, and there's this tent. And I mean, I knew about this tent. I have my moderator, Trace, and she and she became very close with Joe and even her daughter and Lauren and Grayson. I mean, I don't want to speak for her, she's not here to speak for herself, but I just that's just basically my understanding. Like I said, I kind of observe things, but I don't really know all the deets is basically what I'm getting at. And so I knew that there was going to be a tent, and I just hadn't been here before, so I didn't know what to expect. So Joe was like, yeah, we set it up. So, I mean, it's hot. It's July in Arizona, and I didn't sweat though. So that was awesome, by the way. It's so humid here, but it's neither here nor there. So we came out, and you'll see it because Lauren is like zooming. Okay. I'm just saying, here's a little advice for people who are court watchers, court go, whatever. If you're a journalist or whatever, maybe we need to go over this again, but like, don't zoom in on people where you're under a press tent.
Yeah, I saw her zoom in on a lady that was standing she was up on the steps, and she had on a shorter skirt, and she zoomed right in on that lady. And like, no, that is so unfair.
Saying it just is a little, maybe I'm off here. I don't know. It's not my field, but I'm like, here is where people come to they specifically, it's designated for people to walk up to. And I mean, we're probably thinking family members, of the victims and so on and so forth. So let them approach. Don't be having a camera. Don't be zooming in on them. And then, calling out roll call on who's who and where you can name drop and, further bury yourself into my family. That's gross. And I'm glad you caught that today, Jay. But it's interesting because there was the whole fiasco with what allegedly happened at CrimeCon with this microphone, this hot mic. Wait, I'm trying to think. Hold on. Where was the other? Oh, it was here. This was a hot mic moment. Oh, ta-da! Here you go. This is what happened then. Was it intentionally a hot mic moment? Or am I missing something? I feel like I am. Look, I don't know Lauren's case. I know my family's case. So Lauren's new territory for me, but I just happened to be here this one day. And, oh yeah, they're being a bit dramatic. That's why I scheduled it for today. Because I was like, oh, I'm good.
It's high school. It doesn't even feel like high school. This feels more middle school. This feels worse. This feels more down and dirty than high school.
I'm not rude. I'm not going to sit here and schedule over you on purpose. And I mean, I was trying not to schedule over Alex Erickson and Jin Lu and them too. I'm trying to navigate a new kind of community, but let's see. I remember Lauren making an announcement for the comments to stop about her surgically changed face. What? She said it was none of anyone's business. You made it folks' business, lady. So there's that. It's true. I mean, like, you cannot put your shit out there and then just be like, I'm off limit, like, I don't. It's good for thee, but not for me. I
was shocked when I saw it. I was like, "Oh, don't get closer! Don't!" And it kept getting closer. I was shocked.
That's Lauren, in my opinion. Yeah, you cannot please everyone. No, I try. I mean, I try not to be like Lauren. I try not to steamroll people. At first I was unaware of these kind of things like scheduling and things like that, but Jen taught me that. She was like, "Oh, and I'm like, oh, okay, I see how that works." And actually,
yeah, you just try to be a little careful and not. I saw Jay was doing hers, I think at 10 or 11. So I was like, let me do mine earlier than Jay's, because that's just what you do. And especially when you're a smaller content creator, you don't want to like slam yours down on another. And when you're a bigger content creator, you don't want to slam it down on another. But also, it's like a fine line you walk, but you try to be respectful of it. And I love that Kresha's doing that.
Every day with Jay, she sent her chat, like you can divert your chat whenever I end. I could, if I'm ever learned, I'm not that fast today, but I can divert my chat to go to whomever else. Okay. So I don't know why people are arguing. Honestly, I think that's just kind of the climate.
I think it's the climate, and it just makes no sense, because if you don't like it, then just go somewhere else. If I don't like a situation, even if I'm the only one that doesn't like the situation, I leave. I've done this in friendship groups. If I don't like the situation, it's no fun to be the odd one out, but you just leave. If you don't like it, then you don't put yourself around it. That's what adults do. Or I thought.
I mean, I'm not arguing. I'm basically trying to share my feelings, my experience, my piece, report on myself, Lauren, my experience with Lauren was not what a lot. And I mean, I don't know, because I'm not all of you, I'm not an outsider looking in, but then I kind of am too, because it, how do I say this? Like, Lauren infiltrated, I think that's a good word to use. She infiltrated my family, and I believe it's kind of apparent what she does when she's around is she divides people. And that could even be a mother and a daughter. And I mean, I say
this
it's
is
like
the part where she's talking about dividing a mother and a daughter. I don't know what quite happened, but how disgusting is it that Lauren divided Kay, and this is what I'm getting from this, Kay and Kresha. That's disgusting. I'm sorry, baby. I know I get upset about this stuff. Let me reel it in. I'll reel it in. Yeah, I know. I think it's gross. Yes, because this family's been through so much already that they need each other. They don't need you, Lauren.
It was by my choice though, because I was like, oh, I don't know what to do. It's a very paralyzing feeling, because
I don't know.
I don't want to blast her.
Do you think they finally got a PR person to, I don't know. Are we going to be sitting for months waiting? Because I believe Christina's lawyered up, and somebody put in my comments, and this is just what somebody put, that she has lawyered up, and she's found some really good lawyers, defamation lawyers. And I don't know, this is going to be an expensive journey for both of them. But thank God, I mean, Lauren's told us that they've got not one, not two, not three, but 4 with jazz hands lawyers. So good for them.
Because it also would maybe...
That's where they're going to be spending all their money now. Congratulations. The lawyers are going to win. And maybe us, because, we're making content for clicks and views.
Hurt the case. I mean, so it's a very... And you're still trying to figure out what it even is while you're still dealing with all the real shit. Real life, too, on top of that. It's a lot of layers, and it's super sick to do this to somebody or a family who's going through this, or a friend, family, friends, anybody who's going through something as egregious, as hard and difficult and emotional and taxing as murder, especially high profile cases. Oh my God. I don't know the difference, but I can't imagine. I didn't go to Crime Con for any drama, and somehow I was thrust into it anyway. I've learned just to not touch that shite with a 10-foot pole, right? Yeah, I wonder. I mean,
we did have a few content creators that went to Crime Con, and they said there was a lot of police presence there, more than usual. And we were talking, and they thought it was their understanding that the police presence was increased because of our friend Lauren Mathias, who was only there for the Clue Awards, which, in hearing about these Clue Awards, I'm not for awarding victims awards. I mean, that seems very weird to me. Like, awards? Like, I don't know. Yeah. So, but I guess you got to do something at Crime Con. But they said there was so much police there, and that they were just everywhere, just huddled together in little circles talking. And they believed it was because of Lauren.
If you ever want to share your experience, you're more than welcome. It would help straighten some things out for sure. Because, yeah. But again, and then maybe we can corroborate each other's experiences. That would
actually be a good panel to put together, to have a bunch of people that were at Crime Con, even if they didn't see it, just their experiences and what they noticed. Because in hindsight, you can think back and probably, like, you saw something weird, but you didn't quite know what was happening at the time. But thinking back, like with them, they're like, yeah, there was a lot of police, and it was weird.
So I'm going to share this part right here. So there was a hot mic moment, and I don't have that pulled up though. But I'll let this play and I'll go grab it. Where on the 9-hour live stream that Lauren did, and she blessed us all with, right? Mm-hmm. She shared like a clip of a girl who I didn't quite get it when I saw it. I was like, what? Is there a crime here? Like, I'm looking for crimes, like, how is she offending you or scaring you? Besides you just saying, oh my God, you're frightening me. You're terrifying me. I'm scared. That's weird. You're standing right there. Anyways, she's standing right there, inside with the security, people, oh my gosh, metal detector right there. When you go into the courthouse, it's like, there's policemen right there, anyways. it just, anyways, I'm going to just tell you, I'm sure you've already figured it out, but for those of you who don't pick up on my nuances, I mean, I think this entire story by Lauren is completely fabricated. And I believe that she employed or directed.
I forgot she said that. That is so freaking interesting that a victim's family member is saying this about Lauren. That's fascinating.
Conspire, whatever you want to call it. Okay. Allegedly. I feel like she put Joe up to
that
it.
holds weight for me. I don't know if that holds weight for you guys, but that holds weight for me.
Megan up to it. I feel like it could be Trish too, but I feel like there might even be a little more knowledge there to orchestrate and gather evidence, right? And I think that's, I don't know if I'm using the right words that she used or they used allegedly, but something along those lines. So it's like, I'm just trying to figure it out too, because I didn't know any of this stuff was going on.
Right.
And I just know that I distanced myself at that time for a reason, but I also had to stay in touch because I had left JJ. I have a necklace that my mom, gifted me with JJ's ashes in it. And I left it behind in Arizona when I went to visit Joe and Trace. And I brought my little boy, we just went and visit and in Arizona while we were there, and I accidentally forgot him. So I was like, oh no, oh my God. I felt so bad. But I got him, got it back. I'm glad about that. But actually, and I'm just gonna be honest, and you can judge me, whatever. But I mean, I've been looking more into.
I want to look into her MS a little bit more. Because I mean, I have MS and I'm very interested. Is that why she stopped working? What is she doing? Like, is she saying, because I know she likes to say that I'm just a mom, stay at home mom. Yeah. And you're just a YouTube creator too, my friend, because, my BA is, should I have people treat me different? Because my BA is in social psych. I had a heavy emphasis on communications. I was a DJ at the WOCR radio station for 4 years, and I did a heavy emphasis on women's studies, and I traveled one summer around the East Coast. We worked at a refugee camp, and I interviewed some professors at Howard with the emphasis being on African American women's studies. Should I have people treat me different, like Dr. John thinks that people should treat him elevated and different and Lauren, because she has this journalist degree or whatever? I mean, is this what we're doing here now? Like, we're all going to treat each other different because we have different educations and different backgrounds? Because that doesn't, I don't really care. Because in this day and age, and I'm not like trying to negate my studies or anybody else's, but in this day and age, you can learn anything you want on the internet on your own. And yeah, I probably got about 20 years, and in the field. So like, should I be treated differently? I don't think I should. I maybe if I say something about this PPO, maybe I know a little bit more, but I just don't buy into this like elevation of people because of degrees, because you can be really smart and be a social idiot. And you can be socially amazing and maybe have like some learning issues. Like even with me, I mean, I just told you I can't spell, or my grammar's shit. So I am somebody with a degree, yet I have a learning issue. I mean, it's just I don't care. I don't care that he went to Harvard or has this or that, or that she did this or that. It's who we are now and what we're doing now that matters to me. But I mean, maybe you guys are different, and obviously the hidden gems are different because they're elevating these people, and I just don't think you should elevate people. Just don't elevate people. I mean, people were not there when you were born, and people are not going to be there when you're dead. And when you're at your lowest, these people will not be there for you. The only people that are there for you is you and like your close people. And those are the people I elevate. I elevate myself, and I elevate the people that were there for me at my darkest moments. And, there's people I admire, but I'm not going to put them on pedestals because nobody's above me and nobody's below me. We're just all human beings. And I just really don't get, well, I do get it because we come from an age like where people are elevated. So I do get it. But I do think that these social norms need to be broken down because people, they don't respect you. I promise you, those people don't respect you. So why are you giving them so much respect? Respect yourself and respect the truth. But that's just how I feel.
Symbolism, sign symbolism. You know, they say that these people communicate in plain sight, yet people are like, I don't, you know, we look, you're like, you know, you don't see anything.
Hi,
And you really
Annie
don't.
Oakley.
But I've learned.
Oh, you're welcome,
kind of
Annie
hanging out in the
Oakley.
shadow.
I read that wrong. I thought you said hi. You're welcome, Annie Oakley.
Goes back here in the underworld where Lauren would never go. No news source, you know, like these reporters and things like Justin Lum. I'd contacted Fox 13 News, you know, Adam Herbets. He's actually the one that I reached out to. And I never heard back from him because he was handling the Hamblin case, if you know, in Utah. And so I'm like, okay, so he deals with these kind of ritualistic abuse. He reports on them, so he knows what I'm talking about. But I never did hear from him, and that's okay. I respect that more than somebody pretending they're helping me and then they don't. And I mean, of course, news stations were very cautious with me, it seemed, but I was also very upfront with them too. Like, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that this is my research. This is what the hell I look at. Like, I can't help it. That's what y'all don't want to talk about. You know, like, figure it out with your bosses. But also, I'm not who they chose to do interviews, just like Nate Eaton. And I keep these things in mind because not so much to call them out. I'm over it now, but just to make note of it, because I believe that this is also controlled opposition.
Well, Nate Eaton didn't even put you up on the family timeline, honey. So yeah, Nate wasn't giving you an interview.
That just, Lauren opened what I think Nonsense called it Pandora's box, because it did too. And I'm like, holy shit, it very well could
I love
be.
it too that in listening to Kresha, I can kind of hear, like, I know she's been listening to other content creators because I hear her using their phrases, and I love that. I love that she's keeping herself well informed on what's going on about this. And she also starts talking a little bit. Is this the one where she talks about Megan? I think she starts talking about Megan and not knowing how to handle Megan. Or was that in the first one? I don't know. I'm getting them mixed up.
Controlled opposition. I had the definition here. I'm sure somebody's going to be wanting it. Let me pull it up real quick so I can tell you what that is. I was looking, you know, I've been researching into the Diddy case to Epstein. You know, I found names like the Huntsman name. They actually already published the list, but they were redacted, but you can still figure out a lot. So you don't need their damn list. You already know. Just follow your gut.
I love that she's in Louisiana.
Just like I don't need her text messages. I know, because they've been telling on themselves that they're pretty shitty. Whether it just says so much about Lauren. And I mean, I feel the same way about John. You know, he's never done me any favors. Whatever, you know. I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but it just seems like she is spiraling, in my opinion, and he's not done anything, or it seems like
I think they're both spiraling. Like John looked like he was on a spin out in that last one, especially when he got so mad about the stalker, one of the stalkers landing on his best reply ever. I mean, it was going to be good. God dang it. It was going to be good. And she wonders why she's never back on the channel. Don't interrupt Dr. John.
And it just seems very reminiscent of Lori and Charles.
We're saving Megan for the last because I have a hard time watching Megan. I have a hard time with this because I can't wrap my mind around, after everything Megan's been shown, that she's still doing it. But, you know, everybody, I can't wrap my head around it, but to each their own.
Kind of. She looks disjointed, disconnected, disassociated, uninterested. I feel like there's trouble in paradise. I don't know. It's something concerning though, because it scares me. Because I'm like, why are they not? I need them to be normal too, is what I'm saying. Like, let me have my time and y'all just be like y'all were, you know. But they're like, it's different. It's different. It's a whole different energy. Okay, let's see. Controlled.
that mind thought experiment was like, why the hell was Lauren preteen? Stuff happened in this thought experiment that I don't think ever happened, because there was a lot of grape and child stuff happening, and it's like, where are you taking us with this? So he was like, I don't know. That was the weirdest thought experiment, though, and it was confusing, and it kind of helped me see into Dr. John's mind, because that was weird.
I take too many screenshots, y'all. Oh, let me search.
It also was, I thought, important to note. I don't know if you guys caught it, because it wasn't one of my more viewed videos. It was a clip, this one right here, where we get a little look into our psychologist's view on how he feels women speak. When he hears women's voices, when he hears what he says isn't a cat fight, but like they're calling it a cat fight. This is what he hears coming from our mouths.
Of a cyber stalker or any stalker, a physical stalker, it doesn't matter. The goal is to ruin and damage, or to have them end up dead. That's how stuff like this, that's how this stuff ends. And the reason, according to Malloy, is because that's the only way for the stalker to restore the narcissistic linking fantasy. Okay, now we talked about so much.
Yeah.
But we talked about recently psychology stalking. We talked about the research on that. We talked about Malloy's chart, types of stalkers, stalking criteria, definitions. One of the big issues out there, in addition to all that, one of the big issues out there is one of the arguments for the TikToker, for the stalker, is that it's free speech, right? This is probably the biggest argument. Well, it's free speech. This is just Mean Girls. Free speech, Mean Girls. Who cares? Mean Girls are Mean Girls. That doesn't mean you should get a stalking injunction. Don't weaponize the legal system. That's stupid.
Cat fight.
Cat fight.
That's how John talks when he's on camera.
Yeah.
Like, Lauren, what's up?
That's how John talks when he's trying to pretend like he's a woman. Is that what you're saying? That the psychologist is minimizing women's behaviors? Is that what you're trying to say?
That's our psychologist. That's how Dr. John sees us. And when I saw that, I was like, oh no. No, thank you. Pass. That's a hard ass pass when a psychologist is putting our voices like that. And I'm just not down for it.
I've looked up control and Lauren's picture came up. I'm kicking it didn't. All right, let's see.
His hair looks like a comb over to me. It looks like my mom was 30 and she married this old guy. He was like 55 and he had this comb over. And it was back in the 80s, and he used to spray to living hell with this Aquafina, and he would comb it over so it looked like a helmet. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like a comb over. But then someone said they were calling him finger curtains in Jay's channel, and that makes me laugh too. Don't do weird stuff to yourself and like purposely, and then if I mention it like with those eyebrows, and then try to shame me for noticing the weirdness. Like if I came with a clown wig on, I would expect you to notice it, right? If I all of a sudden did something weird to my eyebrows, I would expect you guys to say something, because why else would I be doing it? If I combed my hair over in a weird way, I just would expect it. Don't put something weird on and then just like the whole thing. I'm just like, I'm done with people doing weird stuff and expecting me not to say something or notice it. So I'm done with it. I notice it. It looks weird.
Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna find what the hell. I'm stuck with the information exchanging. Anyways, it's basically like, because it seems like Lauren maybe has, I believe I've been led on to believe that she's no longer a practicing Mormon, that no longer an active Mormon, yet she is doing, she did do Mormon Stories podcast with John DeLynn. And usually when you move to
Their
that.
son is a whole other issue that pisses me off. Like, why does their son know so much about this? It's your responsibility to protect him. And if your line of work is dangerous, if it's that dangerous, then you need to stop. Obviously, you can find another job somewhere else because you've got this amazing Princeton, whatever degree. You're a doctor and you're a journalist. Go do something else if it's that dangerous, which it's not. I don't believe it's dangerous at all. I mean, it is dangerous, you guys. Don't get me wrong. Like, people that are actually being stalked, that's unbelievably dangerous. But this is not stalking.
That side of the space, then, you know, usually you are considered an anti-Mormon at that point. That's like the church's arch nemesis, you know, they're like, oh, they demonize him. But so I'm just trying to figure out the connections here. I also know from what Lori Hellis has produced that it was Nate Eaton that Lauren had ran into at one of the trials. And I don't know who mentioned it, but she asked if Nate Eaton would, you know, forward her a link to the book or whatever. And then
she knew she wasn't going to get a copy of the book. She had already had the falling out, or like not falling out, but whatever, you know, the parting of ways. There's content creators that I have said, I don't want to work with you anymore. I haven't announced it verbally to the channel. Like, I will never be working with this person again. But behind the scenes, I said it to them. They know it. I know it. She knew it. And she tried to get that book. And then did what she did, her mean girl behavior, giving it out to destroy this woman who she's like in her 70s. Oh no, she's 69, worked her whole life, finally retired, writes this book, and then she ruins it for her. Like, what an accomplishment it is, period, to write a book and then to have this mean girl behavior. We know she did that to her, and we know GiGi from Pretty Lies and Alibis has come out and said she tried to destroy my channel. And I just can't see how, oh, sorry, I'm getting mad. I can't see how you can back her. I really can't. And it really makes me question you. And I'm thinking Megan, not Kresha. How can you back her?
Lauren allegedly, according to Lori Hellis, gave out 10,000 copies. Maybe not 10,000, but even if it were just a couple, I agree. That's not her property. She struck my video for using her content. So, I mean, it is her content. I have to respect that, but it's of my family. You know what I'm saying? It is such a weird, bizarre thing to deal with. I mean, I'm just like, what? I've been contacted by net.
Sorry that you went through that, Amy. I'm really sorry. I was diagnosed with cancer at 39 with a 4-year-old son. He only knew I had to go to the hospital, to the doctors, could get me healthy. I mean, again, I had a double mastectomy, everything. In my humble opinion, that's emotional abuse. Yes, you try to make your children feel safe as children. You don't involve them in adult thoughts and behaviors because it's too much for them. It's too much for their little minds to handle and their emotions. So yes, what she's done to him, if it's true, I don't know if it's true, but I mean, they said there's a picture out there of him in this little walk-in closet that she made into his playroom right off her office. Well, did she soundproof that? Because I really, or like, did she soundproof it? Because to put a child right off of like a door where you're talking about such horrible things is terrifying. I can't even imagine if my little mind was filled with all of that. It was bad enough as a Gen Xer and being let loose out into the world and walking the world alone at 5 years old, walking to and from school and, you know, getting into whatever, you know, my little mind could get into. I can't imagine having your mom right off the closet or right off the whatever, feeding your mind like that. I hope that's not true. I really do. But don't bring your son up and make me feel guilty for what he's going through, because I truly feel like you should have protected him from that. He shouldn't be aware of this. And then I wonder too, is that why they were at the hotel? Were they doing it so that John could stay home with the son and they could do it at the hotel? Like, I'm really trying to figure out, why were they at a hotel? That makes no sense to me. It feels like there's this creator, I always forget her name too, but she's part of the Diddy thing, and she says that she was in the foster care system and that she was a party favor at some of the Diddy things, and she was used and abused by the elite, and she really goes in on the political. She talks a lot about the Democrats, which is weird. I always thought that was weird, but she talks a little bit about Trump, but Trump never did anything with the kids that she ever saw. But anyway, it reminds me of that because they move from hotel room to hotel room because they say they have people following them. God, what is that woman's name? Can't think of her name. Does anyone know who I'm talking about?
Netflix, and to take down matching content. I'm like, that is my video of my nephew and my dad on their bus. Okay, I was
like, do they think they're that in danger that they're going to a hotel room to do what they're doing, or are they like? I'm really trying to figure it out. What do you guys think? Why were they at the hotel room?
No, like what the hell? It's really weird. It bothers me too.
Allie Carter,
and if Lauren asks, just let her know.
Allie Carter, and they're always in their van, and they say they're always on the run, and they're moving from place to place, and you see her in hotels, and she's in her car a lot, and it's like, did she purposely set this up? Because it looks much scarier when you're coming to somebody for a 9-hour live from a hotel room, doesn't that seem kind of like intense? Like, she's being stalked and she's at a hotel room? I don't know. Was that part of the whole setup?
I know that I have 4 copyright lawyers. Okay, just kidding. All right, let
me see. Someone
all right, let me play that.
Allegedly to visit Lauren's mom, but I feel they've been on the road for a minute now. Okay, so they had to do it while they were on the road visiting Lauren's mom. That's when they had to do it. That makes no sense either. Is she ever at home away? Yeah. And was her kid with her? No, he wasn't. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm hearing that Allie Carter is that the real person that was involved in all of this is her stepmother, but I was over on her new mother, which I can't think of her name, Linda or something. But anyway, it just reminds me of Allie. Not to say if Allie's real or fake, or I don't know. I haven't figured Allie out yet.
Let me play some more of this Joe right here because it's interesting.
They say Boise. Sorry. Sorry.
Very heavy emotional day for those that were following along on our live stream.
Hey, Mike.
Dr. John.
This was what Jay was doing yesterday, and these were the lunch lives, and we might even get to the scanning of the woman upper dress.
Also watching, and we will be going live later. Right now, we are awaiting a press conference that is going to take place. I'll show you guys what's going on. Here we are. There's Joe Schmo.
It does show you. You can just see how she would swing the camera around, and you see these steps back here. There was a woman standing like up here, like up on those steps, and she swung the camera around, and then she zoomed in, and I was like, oh Lord.
Mike Watkins, he's been on our...
Hold on. What?
Joe Schmo.
What?
Bestie.
What the fuck is going on? There's no Schmo.
I don't know. He's hooking up his little microphone.
That is going to take place. I'll show you guys what's going on. Here we are. There's Joe Schmo. Hello, there's Joe Schmo. Mike Watkins, he's been on our channel before.
Wow, Paul.
That was in her burst.
Wow, Paul.
Just barely know her.
One.
I mean, that looks a little familiar right there. I mean, you spend hours, I was talking about at conventions, but I didn't spend hours just like sitting, waiting for shit. We were at vendors tables, eating, drinking, we weren't just sitting around. So when you're just sitting around, you really start to talk about stuff with people when you don't have anything to do, right?
Minute, Joe. This is July 25th, 2025.
This is recent.
I don't know when the September is whenever he went to CrimeCon. And
this is the guy who took pictures of Christina at CrimeCon. This is Paul Joseph. And he got up and took the pictures of Christina. He also has an a sworn declaration. And he's all dressed up.
Yeah, he's sweaty though. I remember that.
Oh, I barely know her. No, they met each other in Delphi.
Horrible coverage, by the way, I thought.
Exactly, Kresha. It says.
That was me in the chat.
I'll show you guys what's going on. Here we are.
Her Delphi coverage was screwed because she became friends with the victim's family. I really do think that she didn't give a fair coverage.
Joe Schmo. Hello, there's Joe Schmo. Mike Watkins, he's been on our channel before. There's Nate.
I love his work.
Everybody
What a
covering
name
this.
caller.
Nate.
Brianna's known for
That's
a few interviews now with Lori.
Yeah, that's
Lori
short
Daybell.
dress on that day. I think.
So what went on in there? They've got a canopy. It's 105, and my phone.
We got a
is actually
canopy.
attached right now to a phone.
She didn't.
cooler. So fingers crossed that we're okay. Last time we were here in Phoenix and we were waiting for a press conference, my phone shut down. So we have purchased a phone cooler to keep cool.
Okay.
Fingers crossed it works. And I am looking straight ahead at the doors of the courthouse, waiting to see when anyone will be coming out.
Oh my God, she's stalking the people at the courthouse. Why are you sitting there, like, waiting for the victim's account? You're stalking them, weirdo.
It really looks like it. Zooming in.
I don't think
So,
that
roll
word,
call.
For those
you keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
that didn't watch, like I said, we'll be doing a live later today. But Lori Daybell now has 7 life sentences ahead of her. 2 here in
All right, I'm gonna pull it because I finally got it pulled up right here. So let's watch this part. I'm scared. Fair use. Okay, under the fair use. I don't know. I haven't memorized that part yet.
So
Okay.
I have to do it. I just do have to do it just because.
You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means. You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Sorry, I watched The Princess Bride far too many times. I watch too much TV.
You don't own me.
So, in other words,
We speed it up.
the stalker ties herself to a group
Alleged stalker.
bullying campaign.
According to you.
Whether or not she was in town, she is letting
Oh, what am I doing?
me know that the reason they're doing this is because I sent their friend who I was employed with me. I paid a lot of money to a cease and desist for something that has nothing to do with them.
Then why are you
And
talking about
that
it
they're
here
now
anymore?
going to, I guess, harass me and that I deserve it.
I guess.
I don't.
I guess. She says they're okay, hold on. And that they're now going to, I guess, harass me. I guess, harass me. And that I deserve it. You do. And you guess. That's not saying they do. You're not being concrete. You're being elusive. You're being a hooker. Just like your protege there. All right.
I don't know.
Into the hot
We
mic
called the
moment.
police for an escort
Well,
for our vehicle.
good.
And rightfully so.
Goody,
And
goody,
again,
goody,
the fact they said stop acting like nothing's wrong. I don't.
stop acting like a child is probably what he said. And fix your face.
And thank you to the person who said stop
Okay,
saying I
okay.
don't know what it is. Start saying I did nothing. I have not done anything.
Then why are
Thank
you
you.
fake apologizing to? Because you're not even apologizing right. You're like, if I would have done something wrong, girl, you need to go check in at the narcissism clinic. Okay. Woo.
For correcting me on that.
Allegedly, in my opinion.
When stalking happens, you start to doubt yourself. Trust me. I sat in tears going, what have I done? I'm like, whoa,
I'm not sure about Richard Allen, but I think he got a very unfair trial and definitely should not have been in prison for all that time and needs a new trial for sure.
something?
Oh yeah.
Nobody
Lots.
has ever been able to clarify. I think I said, what did I do to them? Like, I haven't done anything.
Why you didn't ask your stalkers?
Because
I feel like she stalks herself. I'm right there at that point right now. Been watching a lot.
I feel like that too. I feel like the stalker has become the stalkee. And so let's keep going. I will put the link down there if you haven't seen it. I'm going to take a cue from J is for Justice playbook and let's do a palate cleanser. Welcome to all those that are just filing in. We're covering the hidden true crime this is the musical version of her 9-hour live, or a little bit of it. Be sure to give this live a thumbs up, you guys, and share it out into your algorithm and check to see if you're subscribed. Welcome to all my new subscribers, by the way.
I've never been more nervous for a live in my entire life, and I've done a lot of lives, and this is not a lie or a show that I ever wanted to do or ever thought I would have to do. And this has been ongoing for months, what I have been dealing with. This is not drama, hidden true crime doesn't get involved in drama. We stay very clear from that, and those of you that know us know that. So I hope that nobody calls this drama ever again. In fact, it's so real life, what has been going on with my family and with me for months, that I decided to go to where I felt would protect me. And that was the courts and legal. And I filed a civil stalking injunction. Somehow someone decided to let Law and Crime know about my civil stalking injunction. Law and Crime decided that they deserve to have cameras in the courtroom while I am explaining what my family has been going through for months. That Law and Crime, I don't know, is it a slow true crime month? They thought that my family's pain should be live streamed on their trial channel. I am a limited public figure. I'm just a mom who has a YouTube channel. I'm not Johnny Depp, I'm not Amber Heard, I'm not Gwyneth Paltrow. I am a mother trying to protect my family, and I am a journalist who has never ever in my life heard of anyone streaming of civil stalking injunction. Because of what Law and Crime did, I had to dismiss my civil stalking injunction. And I find it disgusting that anyone would want to do that to me or my family. I wanted to keep this private. I wanted to keep my pain and the bullying and the abuse and the harassment and the defamation and the pain that I have been dealing with behind the scenes for months. I wanted to keep it private, not live stream to millions of people watching War and Crime. I'm gonna take back my narrative, and I'm gonna own my narrative, and I'm gonna tell you everything tonight. We're gonna go through every filing, we're gonna go through a lot. My hand has been forced, I am very uncomfortable sitting here. Do you wanna know wrath of a mother? I am a limited public figure. I'm just a mom who has a YouTube channel. I'm not Johnny Depp, I'm not.
Okay, so that was our little palette cleanser. I will put the link so you can watch that full song. It is hilarious. I don't think it's copyright claim. They would have had to taken it and gotten it copyright written, but if it is, we'll just trim it out. I hope they realize that we enjoy it and that it's a really good one. So the bird likes it, as you can hear too. He's singing to it and dancing to it. Now he's flying around, so it's a real banger. It's a real banger, using her own words. Okay, so let's bring this one home. And I promised you the other side. And so we're going to go into Megan. Megan Connor has been defending Lauren quite a bit. So she did a live last night where she has been doing these lives. Oh, you know what I don't like about what's changed about YouTube? It used to be like when you clicked on the video up here, the thumbnail would be there so you could still see the thumbnail. But she's been going through the stalking injunction, and she still is doubling down, tripling down that this is a stalking situation. Now, Megan is involved in the Lori Vallow case. She is related to Lori. In fact, is she up there on in our family tree? Let me hit that up there real quick and see if she's. I'm having a hard time figuring out this family tree. So let's see if she's up there. She would be over on Lori's side. I don't see her up there though. She's her cousin. So she's Lori's cousin. We need to get a better, I guess we need to get for this hidden true crime purposes, a better family tree, one that's more up to date. Oh yeah, I've heard it said both ways, but she has it spelled Megan, but is it Megan? Sorry, Megan. Sorry, forgive me.
I didn't get a chance in my live stream to read the statement of the respondent, and I also had a little over 60 comments and questions starred in my chat that I wanted to address, and I'm going to attempt to do that here. So I'm going to start by reading the statement of the respondent in this case.
I haven't actually watched.
Christina.
I haven't watched this latest one. I did watch bits and pieces of the one she did before. So it's just she's not. Yeah, she's just doubling down on it.
And this is her responding to the allegations of Lauren. It says, I, Christina, do hereby state and declare as follows. I'm over the age of 18 and I'm competent to testify in this matter. I have personal knowledge of the facts stated herein. I make this declaration in conjunction with the petition for civil stalking injunction filed by Lauren. Specifically, but without limitation, this declaration addresses the allegations.
I've noticed that we are getting a lot of hidden gems, and the hidden gems we're like giving the Patreon stuff away. I think a lot of eyes are open, and I would be disappointed if one of my favorite content creators I found out was like this. So I have sympathy for the people that used to like them, and their eyes are open, and you just can't you just can't be with it. Like the whole Brad Pitt analogy was such a horrible person to bring up. Like you should have brought up maybe Amber from Into the Weeds mentioned Bill Cosby, and I mentioned another one, R. Kelly popped into my mind, Puff Daddy, Kevin Spacey. Are we all supposed to just look at their body of work and not look at who they are? Because I can't. I mean, even if I did like a lot of their stuff. I did, but I just can't anymore. I can't look past it. And I know that a lot of hidden true crime gem people are just like, they can't be okay with it. And I just wonder with the people that can be okay with it, like, what kind of friends do you have? Maybe you need to go through your friendship closet and really do some digging.
Contained in the Declaration of Grayson and the documents referenced therein, and the Declaration of Lauren and the second declaration.
I did notice a few things that she said in her live that she did a few days ago. She was like, do I agree with everything that Lauren's doing? I'm hearing that now coming from her. So I am hearing that kind of stuff. And that's usually when you're starting to change your mind about things. You kind of start throwing in those little disclaimers,
Of Lauren and the documents referenced therein. I met Lauren in April 2024. Lauren holds herself out as an ex-reporter, journalist, and podcaster, dealing primarily with true crime cases. Lauren is a public figure. She and her husband run a YouTube channel, Hidden True Crime, that has approximately 317,000 subscribers. Her Instagram account has over 20,000 followers, and her TikTok account has over 56,000 followers. For several months, I communicated regularly.
I really don't know what her background is, to be honest with you. I just know that she's Lori's cousin. So, I mean, it is a little... I'm nobody's cousin, but I don't want any of my family member to go through what their family member went through in the same respects. So it's like, but I don't know what her background is, but I know is she an ex-Mormon or is she still Mormon? I don't know, because she's Lori's side of the family now. We were looking at Kresha, which was Kay's side of the family, Kay and Larry's, that Charles married into the Mormonism, and she was born into the Mormonism.
With Lauren, and we became friends. Throughout that time period, I noticed certain red flags that suggested that Lauren's credentials and public image were inaccurate. I call into question the credentials part of it because she was, in fact, a former journalist. And so you can dispute her public image, but the credentials part, I don't understand. For example, Lauren would describe to me interpersonal problems with her friends and in-laws based on accusations of theft and fraud. That's vague and...
Thanks, Amber. Yeah, please hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks, guys.
If she had something specific to say there, I think she probably would have said it. I also learned information that caused me to question Lauren's ethics in obtaining and handling confidential information. During this time period, multiple people expressed concern about Lauren's conduct. At approximately the same time I became friends with Lauren, I also became friends with Lindsay and Lori, who had been friends with Lauren for a year prior. I also became friends with other women who were acquaintances of Lauren's, including Janice. I communicated with, traveled with, and was invited to events with Lauren from April 2024 through the winter of 2024. Lauren also invited me to her house while I was on a work trip in Las Vegas, Nevada. Lauren also invited me and my family to her home to swim in her pool when we were driving from Utah to California. My friendship with Lauren ends. Lauren asked me to perform some graphic design work for her and or her husband's business, which I did at a significant discount given our friendship. Odd to mention the discount. I'm not sure why.
Why is that odd?
By January 2025, my friendship with Lauren...
Why is that odd? Really, why is that odd? I want to know. That's not odd to me. To me, it's telling. There was a power imbalance from the start in this friendship. And Lauren used that power imbalance and she took a discount. And Lauren's making much more money and she took a discount. That's interesting on that side. But anyway.
Was beginning to wane and we communicated less frequently. I sent Lauren a final invoice in March 2025 for the graphic design work. A copy of the invoice and correspondence related to my rate is expected to be offered in my defense as Exhibit D1.
I bet Gabby Petito's family's regretting maybe doing that interview.
By that point, I was no longer communicating on a regular basis with Lauren or spending time with her as a friend. So I'm going to say March of 2025 as the end of their friendship hanging out. That's going to be important later. On April 9th, 2025, I saw Lauren at the courthouse in Maricopa County, Arizona, after Lauren called out to me to get my attention. Lauren ran towards me, calling my name, and with her arms out, signaling that she wanted a hug. While hugging Lauren, I stated that I had read some of the negative statements Lauren had made about me and others, and that I had seen evidence of her efforts to harm others in their business. Lauren insisted that we talk right then and there, even though I was hesitant because Lauren appeared to be in an elevated, quote, fight, flight, freeze state. So here, Christina is not a diagnostician. How does she know that Lauren is in a fight, flight, or freeze state? 23, Lauren stated we needed to talk immediately because she wanted to be alone and her assistant Grayson never leaves her side, quote, never leaves her side. During that conversation...
Is that not weird? Because it's true. I think Grayson probably sleeps at the end of her bed. It's like Grayson needs to go home. Grayson needs to probably find another employer.
Lauren acknowledged that some of the negative statements that I had seen were true and then attempted to justify them. Because Lauren does not always accurately represent verbal conversations, I recorded the conversation. However, if I remember correctly from Lauren's video, the recording starts when they walk up to each other, not later on. I could be wrong about that, but I'm fairly certain that Christine was already recording when they walked up to each other. After our friendship ended, Lauren initiated repeated contact with me to make accusations I knew to be false and to demand I stop speaking about her, even with mutual acquaintances. After Lauren's initial contact, I exchanged several texts with her on April 21st through 22nd, 2025 regarding her accusations and demands. The texts are expected to be offered in my defense as Exhibit D2. Lauren blocked and unblocked me multiple times so that she could state her demands and accusations without allowing me any response. Lauren's last text to me was on April 22nd, 2025. It again made false accusations about my conduct and demanded that I refrain from speaking publicly about her. I have not initiated contact with Lauren since March 12th, 2025, when I contacted her for a referral for my neighbor. I have not communicated with Lauren directly or indirectly since April 21st, 2025. However, Lauren unblocked me in August 2025 to remove things from one of our conversations, and I received an alert that she had done so. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here on this again, but people can edit text messages, but I'm not aware of any program that gives you an alert when someone edits a text message or deletes a text message from the thread. So I'm not sure that this is.
But isn't that what Lauren in the very beginning was going? I feel like that was going to be her line of defense, because she was talking about during that 9-hour live showing how people can fake text messages. So isn't it interesting that now you're questioning that kind of stuff? It's weird. Like, to quote you, it's weird.
Accurate. Also on June 5th, 2025, I traveled to Arizona to attend a portion of the Lori Daybell trial. I was in Arizona for only 24 hours. While seated between, I think this is Lori and another friend in the waiting area, I saw Lauren wave at me in an attempt to engage. I ignored her and did not respond. This was another example of Lauren initiating contact with me, not the other way around. 35, I think this is Grayson, tried to call me twice on June 10th, 2025, but I did not answer or return her call. An image depicting the missed calls is expected to be offered in my defense as Exhibit D3.
And I loved Kevin Spacey, but I won't watch anything else of his. And I won't listen to those people's music either. I mean, but if people choose to do it, I still understand why. And also, like, maybe you don't believe they did it. And so there's that too. Some Michael Jackson, some people believe he did it. Some people believe he didn't. I don't believe he did it. So I can still listen to his music, right? But it's like, we've all got to make these choices for ourselves, and they're choices that they're for ourselves. Nobody else lives in your house with you except like people who actually live in your house with you. I'm not there. So whatever I have to say, take with a grain of salt. I really, like, if you don't agree with me, I don't care. I don't care. I can live in my world without you agreeing with me, but I don't think these people here can live in a world where people disagree with them.
Grayson also sent me a lengthy text message saying that she felt sad that I had my feelings hurt and wanted to have a private conversation. I did not respond. A copy of these texts is expected to be offered in my defense as Exhibit D4. I
hope Colby gets some help. I really do. And I hope Colby stays away from them, Lauren and John, because they're only going to take him deeper down into the pits. He needs to steer clear of this situation, I would say. If I were Colby, I'd go away for a little while. I'd just start focusing on something else very intently and ignore this. But that's how I handle things, is if something bothers me, then I don't make myself aware of it. For me, out of mind, out of sight. It's better for me. If people are talking about me, don't come and tell me unless it's something that is so horrible that it curls your feet, but if they're just saying shit, I don't want to know, because I live a better, safer, saner, happier life because what they have to say about me doesn't matter to me ultimately. But I'm not a perfect, infallible person. Stuff does seep in, but I just would rather not know. And if these people were doing this little TikTok about me, it would devastate me that my friend was telling these things about me. It would be more like that level of I would be devastated, but I wouldn't feel threatened or stalked and there is the matter where somebody called John's job, but I think they were just calling to verify his credentials. And it's not like they were harassing. And if you're on the internet, you have to assume that people might verify you. And especially if you're over there on LinkedIn, a social media where you're all trying to connect and do whatever with one another. So, I mean, it's not stalking. It's not. Here. Let me put this into your guys' head. So this is what you
keep using
remember.
the word. I don't think it means what you think it means. You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
So That's how I feel about that. I lost my place. Hold on. Let's get back over to Megan. Sorry. I dated this guy once, and his name was well, it was Joel, but he had the little affrite over it, so it was supposed to be Joel, but I just felt like so weird calling him Joel, so I just called him Joel. That's the person I am, which, you know, we're not together, obviously, but I have a hard time with the English language, and it's my first language, so.
Conduct towards others. Since April 2025, I've learned of multiple instances where Lauren has behaved strangely and obsessively toward my friends who are also former friends and acquaintances of Lauren. On April 11th, 2025, Lauren sent Lindsay a cease and desist letter containing numerous demands aimed at curbing Lindsay's speech. The cease and desist letter is expected to be offered in my defense as Exhibit D5. Notwithstanding the cease and desist letter, Lauren has taken purposeful steps to contact and communicate with Lindsay. Lindsay describes these in detail in her declaration submitted concurrently herewith.
We're going to have to wrap it up in like a half hour because he wants to do his T&T training, which is just us putting on music, dancing around while he eats. But he enjoys that. And we do that to get our morning started. And I started this a little too, started it too early to do something like that. So that's what's happening in the background. I'm glad it doesn't bother you guys.
We'll also read the cease and desist letter because giving someone a cease and desist about a specific topic doesn't prohibit you from communicating with them. Then there's something about a similar letter to another mutual acquaintance here. 40. The declaration describes 2 alleged instances in Boise involving, I think this is Janice and Lori and Lindsay and others. I was in Europe when these occurred, and I learned about them only later. Lori, Lindsay, and Janice recount what occurred in their declarations submitted concurrently herewith. I've since received the Boise Police Department report along with copies of the videos Lauren submitted.
How could you not? How could you not have skeletons and have Lori Daybell, Lori, what does she go by these days? Lori Daybell, Lori Vallow, I don't know. Have that as your mother? Can you imagine?
The videos were of my posts online, even though I was not in Boise when the alleged incidents occurred. In the report, the officer stated that Lauren provided me with...
His name is Junebug, and he loves his name. He says it. He sings it. He'll tell me that Mommy loves Junebug. Mommy loves Buggy. He loves his name. Don't you, baby? You love Junebug. He's looking at me. Yeah, I'm almost done, baby. Yeah, Junie's gonna do... Yeah, he just said Junie do tweet training, he said.
Videos of 2 different incidents, including the incident at Bitter Creek Ale House. I did not see any intimidating or threatening behavior in the videos. That's a quote from the police report. Yep. At no point did I ask, encourage, or facilitate any of my friends or anyone else to contact Lauren. Indeed, in a majority of instances, Lauren herself provoked the encounter with me in and before April until recently at CrimeCon and my friends. Lauren and Grayson have engaged in a pattern of entering spaces where I already am. Next section is Lauren's effort to prevent public...
You have engaged in a pattern. I'm sorry. Yes. Lauren has engaged in this pattern. Sorry. I was reading it as if Lauren wrote it.
Discourse. As evident from the Lauren declarations and Grayson declaration, Lauren's main issue is with public statements that I have allegedly made about Lauren. Lauren mischaracterizes many of these statements or describes them vaguely to misconstrue them or present them out of context. For example, Lauren alleges that I mocked a police officer when in fact I merely pointed out inaccuracies in what the officer told me, as is my right. A recording of my post is expected to be offered in my defense as Exhibit D6. Now, if you go to the TikTok that Christina is referencing here, it's very clear that she's using music and other cues in the video that are essentially mocking what the police officer was telling her.
She's making a social media video that's a little bit more interesting by using music, but now it's mocking. Okay.
Tina says she's merely pointing out inaccuracies. Well, she's doing that in a mocking way, in my opinion, allegedly.
All right. So that's our Megan. And I will put her link down there if you want to watch it. She is covering Lauren's side of the case, and it does seem like she is on Lauren's side, although I did see cracks, so that might change. I'm going to close it up with, I saw Lauren has a website, and people were asking who Lauren, like who she worked for and what her background is. Well, this is about Lauren. Lauren Mathias has worked as a reporter and anchor for ABC, NBC, and Fox News in East Idaho, Boise, Idaho, and Salt Lake City, Utah. She spent a decade reporting on a diverse range of topics, from high-profile crimes to presidential visits. Most recently, she reported for Salt Lake City ABC affiliate News 4 Utah and Southern Utah. In 2015, she received the Idaho State Broadcasters Association Best Reporter Award, in addition to receiving the Best Report of the Year in 2015 based upon a short documentary she did on LGBTQ rights. She recently left the reporting world to stay home with her son and to produce and edit the Hidden True Crime podcast and Hidden True Crime YouTube channel. So she's saying that, she was doing all that and she recently left to do this, but wasn't it COVID that struck, and they started doing it during COVID. She's also the author of the book Escaping Emotional Abuse. She currently works as the executive producer of the Hidden Podcast and YouTube channel, and as a relationship coach. Oh, I didn't know she was a relationship coach, assisting women in abusive relationships. Well, that's scary. I didn't know that, actually. Did you guys know that? Let me pop over here to chat. Did you guys know that she was a relationship coach for abused women? Oh, hi, Ashley. You're welcome. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Mocking is not stalking. Yeah, mocking is mocking, isn't it? That song is the best, isn't it? It's going to be on my repeat play. And I love that it's her own words. That's the best. It's her own freaking words. So she can't even come at anybody. Well, they will come at people, but it's her own words. But did you guys know she was a relationship coach? I just find that disconcerting. She's not really promoting that right now, is she? And then here is a it says podcast origins. Here's a little reel on her.
Well, friends gather in Boise to remember 21-year-old Zachariah Peterson, who was shot and killed last night near the Boise Depot.
And tonight, police have a suspect behind bars charged with murder. On Your Side's Lauren Johnson joins us live from the vigil with the very latest.
Look how different she looks. Like, is that her? I'm just amazed. She's really pretty, actually. She doesn't have the basketball cheeks. Her eyebrows aren't like up here. Her lips look normal, although it looks like she might have been doing something to her lips. I do stuff to my own face because I'm turning 55 this year. Well, I'm turning 55 on November 6th. So but I've put some stuff in my face. I've had filler here and there, but you can't overdo it. Like, I had somebody tell me once that you have to make a decision. You can either take care of your skin and go natural through life and look normal, or you can do what Lauren's done and look bizarre. I was always told just to do little light maintenance here and there, and I don't know. But after a certain point, you've got to be okay with the way you look. And I think maybe there's some kind of body dysmorphia going on, because that's she's a totally different person. She looks totally different.
Roland and Michelle, you can see that vigil just finished up. We have remnants here of candles that have been lit. Many people did show up, and I spoke to many of those friends of Zach Peterson's. They say that he was a dedicated father and caring friend. Take a look.
I don't think she's unattractive now. She just looks like, she just looks like the Beverly Hills person that's had a lot of work done, that you just side eye because like you just know something's behind all that, and I'm supposed to not notice it. And frankly, it pisses me off that you get mad at me for like not you guys, but like when somebody like puts me down for saying something about that, when I'm not even saying like, I'm not even Turtle Boy sitting on here with those eyebrows, right? Like, and that's funny too. But it's like you're doing weird stuff to yourself and I'm supposed to just ignore it. That's the day and age that we're living in, and that's not what I won't do it. I'm not playing by those games. No. I'm not going to be mean. Like if there was nothing she could do, say she had alopecia and she had no eyebrows, I wouldn't sit here and say anything because there's absolutely nothing this woman would be able to do about it. But she's doing it to herself, and she's paying a lot of money probably to do it to herself. Crazy.
I felt like my whole world just came down. Just every time I look at him, I see his dad, and I feel numb.
Does she say that?
It's just, it can't be happening.
I mean, I think we mistake Botox for, like, we call all filler Botox. So I think she's had filler in somebody, she's probably had some implants somewhere, and she's got a lot of different fillers, but it's not Botox. It's like probably Juvederm or something like that in her cheeks. Like they've got all kinds of different fillers now. I don't do fillers. I just do threads and collagen and stuff like that. Sometimes I'll do some plasma pen and I'll do like a chemical peel, but I don't really do fillers because it's being proven. Like look at all the young kids, the millennials and the Gen Zs, that they look so old now because they went overboard on the fillers. Like I think the fillers was always meant to just boost your collagen. I do a show called Skincare and Suspects where we talk about skincare, and we talk about a crime case, and I do it with another channel called Angela's Aging Essentials, and we're both kind of into skincare and just want to take care of our faces so that we look normal and natural. I mean, I don't want to look like a 20-year-old or a 30-year-old. I just want to look refreshed and glowy. That's the look I go for, refreshed and glowy. So, and if anyone were ever to say something about my face, I would really have to look at myself and be like, what am I doing to myself here? Does it look crazy? Because I would actually want you guys to tell me if I looked crazy. But although sometimes I do try to look crazy, I'm one of those people that likes to wear a statement piece that's a little crazy. So that sometimes happens, but you know, I stand 10 toes down on my fashion. Sometimes I hit it and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I look back at my fashion choices and I think, what was I doing there? What was I thinking? Why did nobody tell me? So I appreciate when people correct my mistakes or tell me, you look crazy, and then I can evaluate. So, but this is what our friend
This
Lauren
candlelight vigil
like.
marks the scene of a tragedy. It's where Zachariah Peterson was shot 24 hours before the vigil began. Here at the well-known Boise Depot, Peterson was murdered Wednesday night.
That man got so mad over an argument that he took a life of a dad, a son, a brother.
The news industry is really cutthroat. I had mentioned that when I went to school, I was taking communication and journalism classes. And so I do have some friends that went into the news industry, and yeah, it's cutthroat. So I wonder if she left that industry because she couldn't rise to the top. But here on YouTube, she rose to the top. But I think maybe her head blew up. Her and Dr. John's head blew up a little too much. And here we are. So I popped over to Jay's channel just to make sure. She's going live today at 11 a.m. So just like in an hour and 15 minutes, I'm going to go do some treat training with my baby bird, drink some coffee, go outside, touch some grass, change my laundry over, and I'll see you guys over in the Cooter DeVille. She said I can have the keys one day. So she should have never said that, because she doesn't know. She doesn't know that I really want the keys to that Cooter DeVille. Put the top down and just tool around Florida. Somebody asked, like, what area of Florida. I'm on the Nature Coast area. I'm on that side, the Gulf side. It's raining because, you know, the hurricanes over in Jamaica, sending prayers to Jamaica. That poor little country. It's horrible when they get hit. I just hate hurricanes. I'm from Michigan, so I'm used to snowstorm and ice storms. And I give me a snow and ice storm over a hurricane, because it's like a hurricane is just like sitting and waiting to be shot. Like you're just sitting in place. Like, am I going to get shot? Like, and it's like 3 or 4 days of that. Like, am I going to get shot? I hate it. But I also love being by the water. So, and I don't like being in the cold weather, and I don't think I can go back to the cold weather. My blood is thinned. So I hope I see you guys over in the Cooter DeVille over on J for Justice. She's doing a bang up job. I will put the links to everything that we watch today in the YouTube show notes. Today we're coming to you on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So hi everyone, if you can just give me a thumbs up, some love, show me that DNA on the platform you're viewing me on. Didn't mean to get that big. And also over on our YouTube channel, we have a Dragonfly membership program that we do. It's just like an added way to help my channel out. Here, let me show you a little something about it. And if you're not subscribed, why are you not subscribed? I would really, really, really love to have you as a power subscriber. If you really like my content, be sure to become a Dragonfly, and that's our membership, and it's $2.99 a month. I release all my videos early. We have special emojis over in the chat room. I kind of share things ahead of time with my Dragonflies, and I go live sometimes just for the Dragonflies. It's a way that I can support you guys and give you more content, and it's a way for you to support our channel. It's $2.99 a month, and I would love to have you. And there is the link up on the screen. It's in chat, and I will also put it over in the show notes. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I really do appreciate you. Thank you for giving me that love, showing me that by giving me the thumbs up. And thank you to all the new subscribers. As always, you know I love my OGs. I never forget them. You're what hold this channel down. Love to the Dragonflies. And yeah, I hope I see you guys over in Jay's chat and across the internet today. If nobody's told you this today, I've gone through a lot, and I really mean this when I say this. You guys certainly have changed my life. And if nobody's told you this today, and even if they have, I'm still going to tell you guys this. I love and appreciate you guys so, so much. And I'm going to see you next time. Bye, guys.
Miss my cue, but I had you for that day. Here in the blue, I'm falling deep into you.
Be sure to give this live a thumbs up. Helps me go out into the algorithm party out there. Bring more people back to the party. It's just a free way to help me out.
With you tonight, and it feels fine. Feels fine. Baby, I'm dancing with you tonight. Falling out. hoping for some time with you.